Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
Remember when $100 filled a grocery cart? Today, it barely gets you started. If you're retired or planning to retire soon, you may be concerned about how inflation could impact your future income. Inflation doesn't retire when you do. Everyday necessities continues to rise. The question is, will your retirement income keep pace? You may have spent decades building retirement savings, but retirement isn't just about what you've accumulated, it's about what you can spend. Inflation can impact purchasing power and create challenges for retirees living on fixed incomes. At Advanced Wealth and Retirement Planning Concepts, we help individuals evaluate retirement income strategies and explore options that may help support their financial goals. Call today for your complimentary retirement income review.
Retirement doesn't come with a do-over. Whether retirement is around the corner or already here, now is a great time to review your plan. Schedule your complimentary retirement strategy session today by calling 832-402-8367. Investment advisory strategies offered through TLG Advisors Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. No tax or legal advisement is given. Informative, entertaining, inspiring. It's the Jackson Political Report. Hosted by veteran political strategist Ron Jackson. Ron will discuss local, state, national, and international politics. The show features commentary, guest interviews, and audience dialogue. The Jackson Political Report. This Saturday morning, 10 to 11 on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230kcoh.com, Sankeet Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.
A Tip from Gilbert, Mondays 11 a.m. on 1230 KCOH.
The Source, we are here with you. Good morning, everybody. 13 minutes before the top of the hour. I am Paris. This is the Morning Magazine. Ordinarily, we'd have Keith Downey here with us this morning on Community Chat. However, as I told you during the previous hour, Keith he'll be in next week. He will return to his post. That is, unless something extraordinary happens and news breaks where he is, and it's regarding the welfare of the community, he will be here with us to tell you about it. Let's say happy birthday to my guy, Young Lord, Richard Young Lord. How are you, Young Lord? How are you, Mr. Pearson, this morning? Man, you're getting older now, my man, huh? Richard Young Lord, hit maker, part of the Bad Boys hit team. Let's say good morning to Lydia Flanagan as well. How are you, Lydia? We do trust that you are doing fine. Look, we're going to jump into this morning. We're going to come right back, get into it, and share with you what we've got going on this morning. President Trump says he'll ask Supreme Court to hear birthright citizenship case. Now, bear in mind, that's despite the fact that the court has issued a ruling on this, and they did so on the final day of its term. But the president, rather than accept the Supreme Court's ruling, has called it a miscarriage of justice and said the court's ruling will destroy America if they don't change their absolutely insane decision. On the final day of its term last week, you may recall, the Supreme Court struck down the president's executive order, which required a baby born on U.S. soil to have at least one parent with citizenship or permanent legal status. And it appears the president does not like that too much. It doesn't appear so. The president has said so. Chief Justice John Roberts, along with conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett and liberal justices Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson, ruled the Fourth Amendment guarantees citizenship to nearly all children born in the U.S. On that front, I got to tell you, thinking about there were rallies and meetings last night, protests over in the East End. A U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent shot and killed a Mexican citizen right here in Houston's Magnolia Park. The neighborhood, of course, is concerned about it greatly. They did this after the man allegedly drove into an ICE vehicle, according to the agency's version of the story. A spokesperson for ICE said the man who was killed, identified as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, tried evading arrest during a targeted enforcement operation around 6:50 a.m. But we're hearing somewhat of a different version, and I can tell you that the citizens over on the East End are up in arms. They are turning out in large numbers. I was listening to a broadcast earlier this morning, and it's interesting that I'm saying it's interesting. It is to hear their take on it is what makes it interesting. Always interesting for me to know what other people are thinking and to learn about things I do not know, and to get more information. And when you get information, when you seek information, you can come to learn more about something than what you thought you knew about it. And I will tell you what I'm hearing this morning. Members speaking out from the Mexican community, particularly, and there are a lot of a lot of people turning out to express solidarity and sympathy and empathy, empathizing with him. But as I was listening to one caller, two or three callers this morning, specifically talked about and a guest on the show who work with volunteer groups, who work with helping the immigrant groups. But last night they were saying that there were people there who expressly, and the son of the person who was shot, the man who was shot, spoke on it as well. He says he and his friends feel like they're not getting a response from their political community. Sound familiar? It's like they've had people come over, said this has been going on for some time, and they went to city council, they went to their representatives, and what they got was, let me be specific, they went to the city council because they were concerned about the behavior of ICE in their community. And though ICE had no role in this shooting, they were concerned, though HPD had no control in this, had no involvement, no direct involvement. They wanted HPD they wanted the city rather, to take a stronger stance on behalf of the citizens. Now this, because ICE is back in here now, and with this fatal shooting, they understandably are being scrutinized again. They when they shot the citizen during the stop, and people are asking questions. This follows recent revisions to Houston's immigration ordinance here. The Houston City Council passed a policy that dictates how local police interact with federal immigration authorities, and this was negotiated after the state threatened to withhold $110 million in public safety grants. And from what I am hearing this morning and looking at in other portions of the news, the community it's an understatement to say they're not happy about it. They're in a more aggressive posture now. They want something done about it. And as I listened to that exchange between the members of the forum, I was listening to NPR on public radio, and these people represented groups of citizens, represented citizens, and sounded like shooting in the black community. By that I mean it reveals a lot of other stuff that's been glossed over perhaps, or not handled in the way that have made the voters and the residents happy. Some of the dialogue sounds very similar to the dialogue in our community. The man who was fatally shot was said to be a hard-working man. Lorenzo Salgado Arujo it is alleged that he attempted to evade arrest. But a different picture emerges as you listen to friends and family who knew him. They are saying he went to work. He had regard for his neighbors, and it was pictured as a hardworking man. And one of the callers who was related to the case, to the person, to the family, or familiar with the family, said it just sounds like they are hunting Mexicans down. This is his language. Said he was killed for being Mexican. And others joined in to say that they had spoken, the people with the representative group from the community, one of the groups representing the community in a civil, the activists, I should say, what we'd call activists in the community, that they have gone to the council before, and they went to two of their former representatives when they were actually representatives, and demanded that the Houston HPD be given more support in their effort to avoid being used by the federal government. They had to fight back because obviously the federal government has means of coercing local governments through monetary expenditures or withholding them. And they wanted Houston to fight back more vigorously so that HPD would not be a part of any wholesale plan that ICE has to conduct these raids in Houston. And they say, having gone to the representative, they went to two different representatives, and they were told, we can send letters. And they're saying now that is not enough. And they are demanding independent investigation, independent investigations into these matters. So that's one of the things that has our attention here in Houston, ladies and gentlemen. And one commenter has written, American citizens die on a constant basis from violence, and these politicians say nothing. Dozens of American citizens have been killed by illegal immigrants, and politicians do nothing. Hundreds of thousands of American citizens have been murdered by fentanyl poisoning at the hands of the Chinese government and the Mexican cartels. And this is some of the things that people do to counter the position of who this is some of the positions held by people who want to justify what law enforcement is doing in conducting these raids. And so people are pushing back on it. We are the source. I'm Paris. There are other things on your mind, of course, and we'll get to those as well this morning. But we wanted to hit the ground running with you. We wanted to hit the ground running with you this morning. You know, we got off to a late start, so you can pick up on the things that you desire. But we've got other things other news that we want to cover with you as always. But meanwhile, we'll take your calls, and you can go to 1230 The Source YouTube and get us there. You can also find us at 1230 at KCOH The Source on our streaming platform. You can go there as well. Hello, caller. You're on.
I'm first, right there?
You are first, man. I thought about you as I was listening to these conversations this morning. You're not only first, my friend. You are welcome. So let's get into it.
Thought of me, I'll watch the race thing. I will in a minute, but Paris, where's Keys, man?
Keith, he just has other appointments. We do have lives, and occasionally they break in. Of course, with Keith, you could be forgiven if you wonder if he has another life other than the community, because he's always on the go. He and Rashonda, yeah.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, this host well knows. I mean, listeners basically they don't care about. They want their regular guests. And they want you to come on, and ladies and gentlemen, once they're gone, I mean, they'll find something else to do.
Yeah.
And the show must go.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Look, ladies, Paris, before I get to what I call it, and it's regarding what you just brought up, but from a different angle.
Okay.
I don't know if you have a bucket list, but if you do, put this on your bucket list, Paris.
Okay.
America's team, NFL royalty, the most valuable franchise in sports, the Dallas Cowboys beating the Texans. Wouldn't that be? Put that on your plate, on your bucket list. Cowboys beating the Texans. You hear me, Ralph? It's on my bucket list. Okay.
Yeah.
It might not come through fast, but it's on my list. Okay?
Yeah.
That was a good movie. You saw the bucket list movie, right?
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah. And it makes us think.
I saw it in part. I saw it in part. I didn't get the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's a good.
Was Morgan Freeman in that? Was he in that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
And Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know what?
You have to refresh my memory. You're talking to a guy who couldn't find his keys this morning. Come on, man. You know that. Well, you don't quite know that yet. You don't quite know that yet. You gotta.
I need my glasses to find my glasses, right? And all that.
Right.
Or the pill box, right? And
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Not that I think. But look, ladies and gentlemen, this topic, I guess, it's interesting. We'll see if it carries legs on this station, and that refers to me. It's connected to I'm going to connect it to what I always bring up. We tend to stay in our own world, in our own tribe, ladies and gentlemen. This is obviously huge. Ralph uses that word. Big time news.
That's why I want to talk about it. Yeah, that's why I want to talk about it.
No. Yeah. But I'll talk about in my angle in terms of the bigger picture, ladies. This city, Houston, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, the majority is brown, Hispanic, Latino, whatever angle phrase you want to use. but and it's big time in that world. But we're going to find out if this station, and I'll say it. Okay, it's relative. This station represents blacks. Houston, not necessarily. I know that it's only representing the whole thing, but it's a little angle that I'm going from. We'll see how much play, but more or less, it's what I've been saying all along. We shall see. Is it big time in the Asian community, in the white community? Even though you see the power the numbers have, not yet. The majority of this city is Hispanic, Latino, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, most people wouldn't even know if I told them who Paris Eley, who is he? Michael Harris? Because they stick with,
Sure.
Sure. Makes
sure.
sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So this station is everything to us, and I'm including myself because I listen more than anybody. Anybody want to challenge me in terms of how much I listen? I move the needle, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of listening time, the average, I move the average way.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Right?
That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I know.
Yeah.
No. But no, and that's it. We care? Yeah, we can say we care, and Paris cares. I know that he's bringing it up because it's important to him. We bring up what's important to us, but it goes to the differences and how we stick with and I'll say it, our own tribe, our own kind, ladies and gentlemen, and we don't mess with different worlds. And so, but if we don't, we'll never come together, ladies and gentlemen, whether it be in voting or the power. Eventually, the numbers are going to be so astronomical that it won't be an issue. I mean, if you have so much power, the numbers will turn into voting, and voting will turn into power, and the numbers will include the wealth in the city. There'll be they're already, you can't walk a block without a brown restaurant, right, ladies and gentlemen, and that whole deal. But the point I'm getting to this, it should be important to everyone. There I go with the should and the should not. I brought that up, but it's and everybody gets to decide. And I'll be curious for the next couple of hours who comments on this stuff and how they approach it. But but I don't see that changing. I'm the pessimist, and this, and not really, but I play the pessimist. If this is the way it is now, turn it around. The trial that's on appeal now, does it get much coverage in the Hispanic Latino community? Not, and you know that, lady. I'm not telling you anything. No. So how do we start? We start with one, and Paris has opened the door. Okay, so that's what I'm curious, because it's much bigger. This story, like your story, Paris, has legs right now. Eventually, we'll move on to other stories because my King Trump carries whatever. Tomorrow it'll be something he does, but you get what I'm saying, and Paris can put it more eloquently if he chooses, but it's nothing new in terms of what I'm saying. But I wish it's the world which should be like it should be instead of the way it is. And the way it is, I don't see hope. You optimistic? Yeah, I get you. And what choice do I have? If you're not optimistic, they said, you might as well be dead, so to speak. I mean, come on. So yeah, I truly hope one day, right? One day I have a dream, and no, that dream, King Jr. No, Michael King, and that was his real anyway. But no, it's a dream.
Do you listen to a lot of or any of Spanish-speaking radio, Mexican radio, particularly, or television?
Yeah, yes. Oh, yes. And you're right. I mean, and I use the word Coop uses. It's big time. And but how long can and this is partly the news angle.
Now, I want to interview
you. Know
you.
More about that.
I want to interview. No. I want you to talk.
No, okay.
I want you to talk.
And,
I just have a question.
In terms of the news, I mean, and you know more about the media and the news than I do.
I don't.
How long can people keep a story running, Paris?
Well, see, this is it.
What's
Look
the average
at
time? Yeah.
well, I think the average time would be about 2 weeks in a news cycle, and that's a lot. I'm being generous
you're right.
because when I don't know, I'd rather err on the side of being very liberal in my assessment, right?
Yeah, right, I got you. Yeah.
But listen, what I'm saying though, there's some stories that appear to be dying. You know, the zombie stories we call them, right?
Right.
Like the Epstein list. You know. Some stories
right.
you put them to bed and they rise again, right? Now, what is different in this case, though, what I'm talking about is I want to know about the feel you get from your community, and I'm going to direct the conversation in this way. I'm going to point you to a certain direction, not for a certain answer, but I'm going to point you in this direction so we can keep it from going all over the place. What is your assessment of any desire for change in political leadership? How attached are, from your experience and your listening and observations, from your observations, how much is your community concerned about state politics as related to national politics? Can you give me that? What do you draw from the shooting? Okay.
Yeah, and you. I know you're one to appreciate honesty, and let me be honest with some the host that I like. But even love in my own way. I don't label myself, ladies and gentlemen, Hispanic or black, or although the original man was black, so, or my people, your people. He used the line. I'm an individual. I'm one of everyone. So it's not that you're asking the wrong questions.
Answer it any way you see fit. Answer it any way you see fit.
I'm getting there. Yeah. So the question is, in terms of, I had to say that, and people know that because I rarely bring up Brown, or unless I'm making a statement to make a message, like I did when I brought up music, and not that I like it, but I want to find out why I liked it. Okay, not just I like it because I like it. Ask why, ladies, and keep asking why. But moving back to the question, no. What I'm right now, ladies and gentlemen, and the numbers will prove it. Hispanic, brown people, whatever label you want to use out there, the general you, they don't vote in the same percentages as other. But I have said they will wake up as the whole, and this is nothing new for people to find, the sleeping giant effect.
And that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, they may not vote, but do they care? Because I'm sharing with you and the audience a conversation that I overheard this morning that made me say, "Oh, I'm gonna open up with that this morning."
And I'm getting there.
Okay.
And in terms of what we listen to, that it reflects everybody. There's no such thing. I listen to the station more than anybody. What I hear reflective about Black America or the community here in Texas and Houston, even though they're the minority in Houston as Hispanic. No, this is so. And I just want to say that because anything Krause brings up.
Sure. Your disclaimer. That's your disclaimer. Let me deliver it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the views, opinions expressed by Texas Mike do not represent the views of the entire Mexican community. I'm specifically saying Mexican because that's where I'm headed in this conversation. And I think that's the group, I could be surprised, that's the group that mostly is represented here in Houston by history, tradition, geography, Mexicans, right?
Yeah, and I'm getting to the answer to
Yeah.
the question. I do still haven't lost, although I'm slowing down my memory powers.
That's
And
cool.
your question as to no, and that disclaimer just to because I'm thinking of it, so I might as well say it. The same disclaimer claims for anybody, even the host regarding black.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but people, including me, sometimes I think, oh yeah, this is how the community thinks. Nah. But look, as to how people feel, it brings back something I said. And you can help me out in the phrase I'm saying. We're at the point, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know if we've ever been one, not just one in the bigger sense like I want, black America has all come together. Even during King's time, there were people who disagree. We're not monolithic, and I'm getting to the Hispanic, Latino community. Most people these days care about their biologic, their intact family, whatever the word is, and regarding the larger picture, especially this story, ladies and gentlemen. We in any story we can say we care and we listen and I can feel the empathy, and I'm talking about Hispanic, Latino, let's get out there, people will, but after a while it'll die, and people will continue towards their own lives. So the people people can say, and I'm talking about the larger picture. We can say we care and we empathize, but do we get involved and keep getting involved? Will this be the turning point and get people to vote in the Hispanic or whatever issue? No, parents can enter later. People will care for 2 weeks, and then they move back to their own individual lives or tribes and the working world. And still summer, so where are we going to go for vacation? It's hard to get people, like I told Keith the other day, and I said, well, if you can figure out how to get people really involved, that's your answer to almost anything. Yeah, Hispanic, Latino people will talk a good game, listen, and even get out there, but it won't last, ladies and gentlemen. It won't last. And that was my answer, Paris, okay? Thank you.
Okay, all right. Stay with me for a minute here because I want to provide some.
Sure.
I want to provide some backstory here on the question and the mood. As I was listening to this exchange this morning on National Public Radio, I thought I heard something different, and I'll describe it here with you and the audience so we can hone it down to
that's probably
sharpen it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day after a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer fatally shot Lorenzo Salgado Araujo in Houston's East End, his son spoke about his father's dedication to his family and said he did not deserve to die. So underscore that. We're going to underscore that part. Now, I'm listening to this conversation, right? So here was the quote. He was a hard-working family man who never wanted his name to be known by anyone outside of his family's. This is his son speaking. He said he wanted nothing else in life but to provide for his wife and see his sons become great people. In a statement Tuesday afternoon, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security claimed that he was shot by the agency during a targeted enforcement operation. Federal officials say he attempted to evade arrest and tried to run over an ICE agent. Now, I must say, we've all heard that before in other instances, and the nation has.
Yeah, you're right.
His family says, in light of fatal shootings, during the second term of President Donald Trump. This is your guy, the King, whose administration has ramped up enforcement of immigration laws, underscored this. Local elected officials and civil rights groups have called for independent investigations into the shooting of Araujo.
Of course.
Now, his family has said you could find him every evening after work, resting on his porch, listening to music, petting his dog. I am deeply heartbroken to see that the man who taught me the value of hard work, family values, and education will no longer spend an evening on that porch. Now, here's the money line. He did not deserve to die. He did not deserve to be reduced to a headline of Mexican man shot and killed by ICE. He said he lived in the United States for over 30 years. This is why I'm thinking some of these things are going to hit differently. Listen to the story. Ariel had lived in the United States for over 30 years and was working his way through the process of obtaining legal immigration status, according to his family.
Right.
He dedicated his life in the United States to giving his family the American dream. After nearly 35 years of working to give us the American dream, he made the choice to begin the process of obtaining his American dream through a work permit. We dotted every I, crossed every T, filled every document, attended every appointment. And then Christian Menifee was present, and he had this to say. He said, I want to be clear, somebody being killed by law enforcement is a big deal. What other profession has the power to take somebody's life in the middle of the street? We are a city of undocumented immigrants. They are our neighbors. They are our family. They are business owners. They deserve to be treated with humanity and dignity. So it looks like the upshot is while the FBI's Houston office is leading an investigation into the potential assault on a federal law enforcement, the Office of Inspector General for the Department of Homeland Security leads that investigation.
Yeah.
I
read. I had read and heard every single word.
Right now, after that, good. Now hold on, because I'm trying to do two things. I want to conclude this because I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I want your observations really, because my observation said as I listened to that. It's the other element that made me talk about this first this morning. Look, right after the Sun was on and someone else from another one of the Latino organizations, I don't know that they were strictly Mexican, but there was this air. We are tired of being hunted. Now that spicy language is mine, but it wasn't far from that. They are saying ICE is doing too much. ICE is doing too much, and we have spoken with our city officials. We know that they have limited power, but they can do more than they did. And they say hundreds attended that. Now, the organizers said about 1,000 people or more were there, and not all of them were from East End. But that the way they were talking about the administration, it elevated to your guy, the fake king. They said,
wait a minute. No, go ahead. I know.
They said, They said, look, we know that our cities are limited, but they can do more. We know that the federal government is pressing this. And then a couple of people talked about the local officials that they had spoken with. I guess I'm assuming you heard that part that I set up in the opening of the story.
Sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen. Everything you can apply to something else. Go ahead.
So now, what do you think? What do you think that a family man here in Houston, guy with 30 years in, what do you think the political ramifications are going to be? You say the story will go away. What do you think the Well, what do you think about the activism? Because if the story goes away, the activism dies down. Are you saying?
Right. Yeah. And the story will go away.
And I think my
Eventually.
community, many in my community, like me, will tell you, I haven't seen a lot of activism in the Mexican community. However, there's a reason for that. Because I want to give them credit for this. I want to make this very clear to all of us. Sometimes there are things going on that we don't see. Because I just heard about a case today during this conversation they were having. Guy had to go to federal appeals court to finally get a ruling. So there are some people in other communities, Asian community, the Hispanic community.
We just don't hear it from
you just don't hear it. But
If you're not in our world, yeah.
But I'm thinking this might I'm wondering if this will drive them into the streets the way black people get into the streets.
I said that earlier, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The whole deal of, this is the moment. This will change everything. And you've heard that from me, ladies and gentlemen. And it doesn't happen that way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being honest, okay? He wants my observation. Yeah, and politicians, yes, will use this story for their own benefit. They'll come out and support, and like politicians do. And that's kind of the name of the game. But eventually, ladies and gentlemen, my King Trump only has a few years. If Democrats win, ladies and gentlemen, your guys, ladies and gentlemen, they will open the borders and more brown people will come in, and my prediction will eventually come true, ladies and gentlemen. But I believe I've answered the Paris direct questions in terms of how long the story goes. Will this really change anything?
Yeah.
It's a blip. It's a moment in time. But in terms of anything, when's the last time a moment really became a movement and it actually changed things? We here at this station talk a lot.
Yeah. Well, see, this is it. Actually, you know what? That's what they were saying. That's why that's what these Mexicans were saying. I'm sorry. Let me put it another way. That's what this family was saying, and the people on and the people on the panel were saying. They said, "Look, we go to these elected representatives, and you change the accent, and you could be talking to the Morning Magazine crew." Or another black talk show audience, right? Because they're saying we got to take over more for ourselves. That was the call from the organizational head, the guy who had tried to get the former city councilman and another former representative to say, as citizens, we're going to have to do more for ourselves. Yeah, writing is fine, but we've got to show up. We've got to hold these politicians accountable because we've been getting to run around like this for years. And this is what we try to tell people. Okay.
And I guarantee you, the audience will say, now they.
That's what they're going to say. Sure.
But look, change doesn't happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And no one moment. It happens slowly. But my prediction is not tomorrow. We'll be dead, like I always use a parrot. But eventually, the numbers will be so astronomical about this city, which Hispanics are already the majority. I'm talking so much, and they slowly will get to voting, and voting will bring up wealth, and then the wealth comes with. So it will happen. It's just a matter of when. Okay. Anybody who says it won't happen, they don't understand the demographics and how eventually just the sheer numbers project and turn into voting, turn into wealth, and on and on. I love the dialogue. Have a good show, Parrot.
All right. Thank you so much. We are the source, and our callers, I thank you for waiting. Go ahead. Good morning. This is DJ, I do believe. Hey, DJ.
Hey, good morning, Uncle P.
What's going on, sir? How are you?
Man, that question, that line of questioning is very, very penetrating and revealing. How much, I love the question, how much are you concerned about your own people or others outside of your community. And many people that are not black, so to speak, have you noticed something, Uncle P, that the tides are turning? For many years, white, Hispanics, Asians, they sat in the comfort of their own home, talking about, and some, not all, but for the majority, they don't come out and protest. They don't come out and speak, even though they sit back and say just how terrible things are. And in the back of their mind, you know what's there. I'm glad it's not us. But now, today in 2026, it is you. The ask any of the Asian people, especially the Vietnamese and all of them there, did they think that one day they were going to wake up and now black folks don't even come patronize their stores? Ask the Hispanic folks.
Yeah.
Who's very close with us in a lot of ways. But somewhere quietly, they want to take your place. And because of that little attitude and that little type of sentiment, you sat back and you watched what happened with Trayvon Martin. Oh, how terrible that was. But where were you? You seen what took place with Mike Brown. Oh, how terrible that was. Where were you? But now, as what the person said, that we're tired of being hunted. Damn, I wonder who was saying that for over 400 years.
Yeah.
And now you see what it's like to have that shoe on your foot. And now you calling for the very people that you really quietly really want to replace. Because if I guarantee you that if that shoe was on our foot, Uncle P, you probably wouldn't even get very much of a pushback. Because they always want us as black people to always bounce back, because that's what they always seen us doing. But no, we have spoken up for every last one of you. And now you want us, but Charles Dutton, though, let's not forget Charles Dutton, what he said in that movie. The hunt is on, and you're the prey.
Yeah.
So, brothers and sisters, this is your time now. This is your time. This is your moment right now. For one thing, we done seen so many times, we done took our dead to the funeral. Many of you don't even show up. Same way with them. We sit back, Paris, we see something that we didn't like, the injustice done to the Spanish community. Many of us, we talk. We at least you get a talk from us, and then you get us standing up and saying something. But we don't go and walk with them in their grief, and I think that would definitely help to bring the communities more closer together if we would show up.
Yeah.
But we in the United States of division, as Prince called it. Thank you, dear brother.
All right, man. Thank you so much, DJ. I approach this from the standpoint of, are you really feeling the pain? And I'm not trying to. I want to be responsible here. I'm not trying to trade off another family's pain. What interests me is, are you really now aware of just how close you are at any moment to becoming a victim of the same thing that you might be silent about? That you do have skin in the game, whether you acknowledge it or not. You can't hide by being nice anymore. And I don't mean that as an accusation. I mean that as a description. And you can replace the word hide. Just let me put it this way. Do you think being silent will give you more? Do you think the anonymity of being silent will relieve the strain on you with the stigma that comes with being discriminated against and pulled out for certain things, because we see you can't become invisible. You can't change all of your features. And you see that the one court has said that, it's an Hispanic appearance and Hispanic action. They were using these as grounds for stopping people at one time. I think that finding was overturned, or the ruling, the order that it had been issued on was later rescinded. But you get the idea. Let's let somebody else go out, do the heavy lifting. Let's just keep our head down. I heard that expression this morning. Guy was saying his dad told him, just work hard, keep your head down. Well, if you're here without papers, so it's kind of hard to keep your head down, even when you're trying not to cause any waves, because you keep your head down, they're going to look at the color of your hair. They're going to look at your hair. They're going to look at your complexion. So we will see, because there is also with this aggressive push that's going on, this Hispanic community is being heavily targeted, and they've got studies that show that Latinos account for roughly 9 in every 10 interior ICE arrests because of aggressive community-based sweeps. Roughly 1 in 5 Hispanics personally know someone who was detained or deported in recent years. I'd like to know how that's going to translate in terms of their politics. What about the politicians who drive these policies? This policies just doesn't come out of midair. There's somebody who's supporting these policies. All right, we are the source. Hello, caller, you're on. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Pastor.
Bobby Ray Tyrone, what's up?
I want to throw out the Imitation of Life, 1959.
Yes, sir.
But sons of other sons. So you been from Virginia, you don't know about when the Southern Pacific Railroad wanted to come through H-Town, but they wanted to bring a bunch of people from Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So when they came to H-Town, a lot of people that came from Louisiana went to a place they called Frenchtown. So if you went to Frenchtown, if you couldn't pass the brown paper bag test, you could not. You were redlining. You could not live in Frenchtown, and you couldn't get on the Southern Pacific Railroad. And so Archie Bell and Drell, they lived close to Frenchtown. They didn't live in Frenchtown, but everybody in Fifth Ward knew that if you couldn't pass the brown paper bag test, don't go to Frenchtown. And thanks to KCOH, you might even couldn't get on at the Pacific Railroad or Brown and Road. Well, because parents, we are very. When you go down to Home Depot and you see them guys sitting around, a bunch of people in the back of the pickup, man, parents either won't be in the back of the. You can't speak no Spanish. You can't get them. But parents, we say that let the tare grow with the wheat. So the thing is, so we got to stop hating parents, because all they want to do is go to work and raise their family, buy a nice house. Man, you don't need to be running into the people's house just because they got a piano in there. I mean, come on, man. I mean, whether it be Rosewood or be Tulsa, Oklahoma, Paris, at some point.
Yeah.
Now they got the federal government gonna give you a license. Say, go down there and mistreat these people because they are low hanging fruit, and they got a piano. So, man, I don't know what it's gonna take for us to stop that because parents until we stop, man, and humanity toward man just because I can identify Paris Eley. So, and I'll try to tell you yesterday, Don, Sam, and Letter, the BG, all they want to be a bitch jacket.
That's
Come
right.
on, man.
That's all they want.
You need
Yeah.
y'all need to stop. All they want to be is a bitch jacket. So I had a dude from Alexander, Louisiana. He had broad hair, blue eyes. If you would never open his mouth, you wouldn't know you wouldn't know he was a brother. But a lot of y'all, including my granddaddy, y'all been trying to pass for years and years. I mean, they try to get in, and then as you get in, you got to try to fit in. And come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, all we want to do, Paris, as you said, we just want to live the American dream. So all I need, and I keep saying, you don't hear me. I say, where is my money at?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
All right, buddy. My man. Okay, buddy. All right. Thank you. And let's turn to the law enforcement front for a minute. I got my man Spivey here with me this morning. I gotta check with Mandingo too, because I want to law enforcement. What happens when a group of people who are the same? What does law enforcement look like when, at a time like this, when there's a serious crackdown of people of your own kind, and you sense that the policy they want you to enforce, maybe the chief sends it down or somebody else, they want you to be a little harder in this towards these people. What does that look like? We know about racial profiling, but here's the deal: Hispanics working inside ICE, despite this high tension in the community, make up about they make up a large portion of ICE's workforce. About 20% of ICE agents and roughly half of the Customs and Border Protection agents are of Hispanic heritage. Many Hispanic agents say they joined these agencies out of a desire for stable federal jobs, community protection, and to enforce the law. And the combination of these agents, these Hispanic agents, executing strict deportation policies creates friction, as you might imagine. Fatal accidents and aggressive community enforcement operations have sparked protests and diplomatic tensions, notably resulting in Mexico, and we're going to announce that to you this morning as well. If you heard, Mexico filing formal complaints over the deaths of Mexican nationals. You check your news feed, that's coming over. That is one of that you'll find crossing your news feed this morning. Yeah, the Mexican government filing formal complaints over Mexican nationals. So, Spivey, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, my man. As usual, you always light the fire, man, before the barbecue.
I want to hear what you think at all. I look. I got one question. As you give us your view, what's it like when the policies look like they are targeting a group of which you are biologically a part of? And you might sense there's some unfairness there. So while you're answering, keep that in mind for me. Just tell us what has been your experience and your observations.
Well, since this all started with Red Hair, the pirate, coming up with all of these archaic, barbaric rules and regulations by putting together a hit squad. That's what I call it. because, this gentleman who works every day to take care of his family has no criminal history, but yet and still, when the initiative started with Red Hair, he said that they will go after the criminals who has criminal records. He has access to all of those records. He don't care. He looking at the sub name, and he is definitely racial profiling. And I'm going to tell you, when I heard Mayor Whitmer, I said, well, this is federal. I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was the mayor. I said, I don't care. I want HPD. I want all the agencies that I'll call on my brothers from the sheriff department. Let's get together. This is our community. Let's go out and do our own investigation. And since it's fresh, let's go now before ICE clean up the scene. And that's what I would do. And like you say, they already got a campaign on air right now because his family has publicizing the goodness of their dad and what he was doing. And people are protesting right now. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to grow internationally. How many last elections of Hispanics voted for Donald Trump? I bet you this coming election, the Republicans are doomed. Donald Trump should be impeached, period, because he is just like he was the initiator of the January 6th insurrection against the White House. That was obvious. This is obvious, too. He is the initiator. Back in old West Day, a person that instigated a hanging mob and stuff was the first one to go to jail and get hung. He is a savage person. He is emulating what Putin, how he run the Russian government. He ramrods it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Right now, as we speak, he and his family is gorging. They are pirating the United States Treasury. His sons has gotten all of the companies, most of the money contracts provided by the federal government because they have an insider. Red Hair the pirate. He is the most ruthless Artarian that we have had. We haven't had no president of his magnitude. He don't try to hide what he's doing. He lets you know he's stealing from you, and he's making you like it by excuse my French, by bullshitting you with nonchalant conversation, and you hang on to every meaningless word of this gentleman. And I use that term, gentlemen, and I was being sarcastic on that. We are being raped. America's being raped. He's raping the veterans. He's raping non-veterans. He is killing hard-working people. I don't care what nationality you are. If you're taking care of your family and you're obviously paying taxes, they need to leave you alone. He started all of this for one purpose, Paris. Believe me, he know what he is doing. He is a master of evilness, of exploiting the weakness of United States citizens. Then he goes straight at your throat, and you smile while he's strangling your butt. This man, whole goal is in his second term just to steal him and his family as much money as he can rob out of America. $1.4 billion, already more than probably all the presidents together has accumulated while they've been in office for the United States of America, working for the citizens of the United States. He ain't working for you. You working for him by giving him and his family your money and being Mr. and Mrs. Gullible.
Well, okay, okay.
That's the absolute truth.
Yeah,
It's undisputable if you just think about it and stop putting this horse blinders over your eyes and open your mind. You will see that you ain't got the behind left no more.
All right, man. But let me ask you this in passing, because I intend to have Shelby Stewart comment on this as well. There's got to be times, political times, when outrageous thing happens and somebody's just like the George Floyd. What's it like policing your own community in those conditions? You understand my question? The internal conversations that an officer may have with themselves, or maybe not. I don't know what it's like.
Well,
what is it like?
You know what? Like I said during the George Floyd, I said it on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be no officer standing there with another officer with a knee on somebody's neck,
Mm-hmm.
and he's saying he can't breathe, you killing me.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, it could have been a chief of police knee. I'd have physically took him off of George Floyd for the simple reason why we are here to protect and serve. And they don't tell you who to protect and serve, whoever is initiating violence. That's the way I've always been all my life, even in law enforcement. I say, no, that is not right. You do that, I'm a fire charger. That's just the way it is. You're either right or wrong. There's no in between. And when you have the sacred duties to protect and serve, it's not to protect and serve a certain segment of our population. You protect and serve every single person that comes within your parameter and your view, and they need your protection without regard to race, creed, color, or whatever. That's what your job is. When you can't fulfill that goal, you need to find you another occupation, because only the best can protect and serve. Only the best policemen, themselves, FBI, no matter what law enforcement agency that you represent, only the best with the highest mobile character and understand your oath should be in law enforcement. Anybody else is a sad song. For humanity.
Okay. All right, Smiley. Want to thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's 8 minutes before the hour of 11 o'clock. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
Good morning, Brother Paris. I'm good. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chris.
I have a question, Perry, because
Yes,
I try to make things make sense. Now, I just saw a story, Perry, of CBS News.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the January 6th insurrection riders, over 1,500 of them got a pardon, Perry.
Mm-hmm.
They took the brother by the name of Brian Cole Jr. He did not get a pardon, Perry.
Mm-hmm.
And they saying, Perry, if I read this correctly, hear me out here, y'all. Just give it up to Brian Cole Jr.
Mm-hmm.
They saying he did not get the pardon, Perry, because he was not convicted until Trump had already gave all pardons out.
Oh, man.
Perry, they got the brother photo of their biggest day, Perry.
Oh,
so
man.
all these people did all this crazy stuff, all these white folks now. The one brother that's with y'all, Trump had already, he wasn't convicted until after Trump gave the pardon. So now that Trump gave the pardon, he can't get his pardon now. I mean, what am I missing here?
That's like there used to be an old routine back in the day of Pig Meat Markham. You ever heard of him? You know that, right? Pig Meat, the comedian, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, he did a routine where he said he gets a letter from home and he's reading it, and his mama said, "I would have sent you some money, but I already sealed the letter." That's what that sounds. Yeah, I would have sent you some money, but I already sealed the letter. So nothing I can do now. That's what that stuff sounds like.
Perry, and don't misunderstand me, Perry. We try to take race out of everything. Everybody says, "Oh, y'all wasn't talking about race." Now he's the only black person. Okay, he showed up and called Trump to show support too. He's a mega person. All these mega people show up and did what they did. The brother don't get a part.
Damn. I'm sure glad you brought that up this morning because, let me tell you this, man. I'm glad you said exactly what you said about, people call in and say, it sounds like this over here. Well, anybody who was listening to NPR this morning, on the Houston version, would have said the same thing, only it was the Mexican residents, our Mexican residents and the Hispanic community. Because they're talking about the lack of getting into the streets, the lack of response from their government. And so my question to not just Texas, Mike, but what is how is that going to process through, not just through organizations like LULAC or the usual players, as helpful as they may be? What's that going to look like for the rank and file? That 20%, for instance, who have family members and they are working for ICE, but who got I would imagine you got to feel some connection with what's going on in your community. What's going to be their political response? I know there's only so much they can do from the job, but I'm wondering about these people who are unhappy about this and are willing to. How's it going to translate for those who do vote? How's it going to affect their voting habits? I mean, so it sounded like that this morning, the same thing that you're talking about right now. It sounded the same when people say people say, "Oh, they're bitching and moaning." Well, they were bitching and moaning this morning. Let me tell you, okay?
Hey, Patrick, one of the things I want to say too, for people that's listening, not once did nobody say, I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony. Not once did he say he didn't do it. Okay, now once we try to give him stupid, he was justified in doing it because of self-defense. My question becomes, how is it okay for George Zimmerman to defend himself when he was the one initiated with Trayvon Martin? How is it okay for, Kyle Rittenhouse to claim self-defense when he was the one initiated, went down there with the rifle, shot 3 people in the back? So how is it okay for these guys who happen to be non-African Americans use the so-called defense self-defense when they wasn't being threatened at all? And then you got Camille Anthony, man, I would defend him. He put his hand on me, and they was hitting on the brother. Not to mention, you had Mr. Child, who shot the brother in the back, the 14 kid in the back, who was running away from him. You had the guy on the train in the subway in New York who choked the brother out, and they all used self-defense and walked. But you got little Camilo Anthony, 17 years old, being attacked by 4 white boys. It wasn't just one, it was 4. And he claimed that, man. Now, once he said, I didn't kill him, I didn't mean to kill him, I defended myself. He was more than justified his self-defense, but Kyle Rittenhouse used self-defense, so did George Zimmerman, okay, and the rest of them, and they walked. What am I missing here? Funny listeners out here that said, "Oh yeah, y'all got it wrong. Y'all got it wrong again." He killed. He didn't say he didn't kill them. He said, "Damn it, I'm defending my damn self." Talk to me. Yeah. I'm listening, brother. Yeah. What am I listening?
All right, man. Listen, I think so. What is? Are they going to get a new trial, or they haven't determined yet?
Well, they filed there's paperwork. The motion is filed for a new trial and for a whole lot of stuff. For
I'm hoping, look, I'm hoping to get a new trial. I thought the Senate.
Was he not? I mean, here again, how can Kyle Rittenhouse use self-defense when he shot 3 people in the back and he went down there to Wisconsin? How can George Zimmerman claim self-defense? But Carmelo Anthony can't claim self-defense, and he was, in my opinion, he's more justified in using self-defense than the other guy I just mentioned.
Chris. But here's the problem. See, from my standpoint, different jurisdictions, Chris. Now, I understand the principle. But different jurisdictions, there's room in there for them to manipulate, to claim this thing is different and that thing is different, although we know it's a crock. In many instances, it's a crock, right? But this is how they get around it, Chris. So I can't answer that question because I know what makes sense to me, and knowing that. Look, I am where I was before. I'm sorry that thing had to happen. Once I found out that there were no black people on the jury. Say what?
Not only for a black man, but for any man. If you being attacked by 4 individuals, Paris, you've been attacked by 4 individuals. He wasn't just attacked by one. It wasn't just Austin Metcalf. It was Austin Metcalf, his brother Hunter Metcalf, and 2 of their friends. They was tagging. They weren't pushing. They was hitting. So, what was that brother supposed to do? Yes, he was justified in defending himself. Just sticking my big toe. So they say that was definitely self-defense. You've been attacked by 4 individuals, physically attacked.
But they didn't see it as that. That is what I'm saying.
It didn't come out though, Perry, until the video came.
So what? Oh,
it didn't come out until the video came.
Well, that's why I want to do trial. That is it. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Look, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying, first of all, I'm not. It doesn't thrill me that there wasn't black people on that. Their reason for dismissal of those black jurors is suspect to me. So, from a procedural matter, I think that was unfair. And then I don't know what the jury saw. Now that's in question. So the whole thing is, for me, it looks bogus. If new information came out and there's a trial, I think I think you give the man a new trial. That's what you give the boy a new trial. Give him a new trial.
For me, not just as a human being, but as a black person, we got to stand up for our own. We got to stand up for our kids just like they do for their damn kids. I'm sorry. My boy himself. We as black men will tell our sons and daughters to be punks and Roman. They being attacked by white folks.
And that's why
I'm defending myself.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying there should be a new trial. That's why I'm saying it should be a new trial.
We got to tell our sons and daughters, y'all run now. But they come hit y'all take them licks and y'all get on run. Man, you just have to send me on the prison to kill me. That's just me. I'm a brother. I'm from a different cloth. We got, some of us out there. We ain't scared. You know what I'm talking about. You got the real person out here. Because as a man, what did you tell your boy?
Yeah.
They make him kill me now. Like the boy that came up there in the water that went on to his so-called white friend. He don't want to drown. Come up, it's in the water. No, I think the Nolan kid, he don't want to come up missing the water.
Yeah.
I just left my so-called white friends, but I'm the one that didn't make it back alive.
Yeah. There's reason for an investigation on that. There's a reason for an investigation. What I'm saying, and I want to be very clear about what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there should be another trial. That is what I consider the injustice of all of this. Absolutely.
The jury got it right. He stabbed. He should have had a knife. He stabbed. But he was also there because he's supposed to be there to mind his own business. And there's no rule. No, you think these coaches, these schools would have let the athletes know ahead of time? By the way, there's a rule in place. You got to stand on your own tents. Of course not. Those white boys coming from the other side, they running packs like they looking for trouble. It was 6 of them showed up and then 4 of them approached it. They came looking for trouble. They had 40. Most of it had 40 men just there prepared to watch for it. Little Camille ever standing there, mind his own being. He was supposed to be there. So if there been a rule against you can't go to nobody's tent, you don't think the coaches in school will let them know that ahead of time with the policy? Oh, by the way, we're not allowed to go on nobody's tent because it's school policy. Of course not. So we're gonna tell it. We gotta tell it all and make it make sense.
Well, that's it. It's not making sense. It's not making sense to me.
Exactly.
It's not making sense.
And get out the way. I know you get pissed off with it. I don't care. We got to start thinking outside the box. Stop trying to go along and get along. Damn that. I ain't trying to please them. I'm trying to please God. And the God I said, the God is truth and justice fairness. At the end of the day, God is my judge and master. I got to fight for little Camilla Anthony because that boy would defend himself. That boy come from a good family, good track record. Somebody tell me, yeah, you got a right to defend yourself. Hell, at the end of the day, we're going to die anyway. I'm going to die doing something good that God can be pleased with. We tell me, well done, my good and faithful servant. Jesus did it. That's just me, one black man's opinion.
All right, Chris. I thank you, man. I thank you. All right.
Take care, brother.
All right. We are the source. It's 3 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. Yeah, and it's a heated discussion. You know, it's a heated subject because the trial left people feeling unfulfilled. You know, when the courts become suspect, justice becomes unattainable. And the reason what I mean by that is nothing you do will be seen as justice if people perceive you began from a place of injustice. And so that's important to say. There are certain positions in government. There's a reason people want transparent that have to be transparent if they are to exist under the will of the good wishes of the people. And you know what? That is what the Declaration of Independence declared. It said, this government rules, this government we're about to form is going to be different because it rules, it governs with the consent of the people. And when it fails to do so, it is your duty to overthrow this government. That's why First Amendment is so important. You got the right to speak. I'll tell you, if some of these current people, citizens and politicians, had their way, they like to talk a lot, but the First Amendment would have been tossed out a long time ago. Because all you have to do is speak against someone's religion, someone's political preference, and people want to shut you down. Because governments have to be trusted by their people. You want transparency because you want accountability, and accountability should bring trust. That's if they know you, but people don't trust that which they don't know or understand. Hello, caller, you're on.
Yes, how you doing, Pat?
Ed, what's good with you? How are you, sir?
Man, I'm just thinking, always thinking. You know, I sit back and think about when I was a kid, maybe about, I don't know, maybe I was about 7 or 8 years old.
Yes, sir.
I read somebody's statement, I'm a nonconformist, because that's how you bring about, or have to bring about positive change.
Yes, sir.
When we live in a society, well, most people not thinking about it, man. Who built all these boxes that divide human thinking? Who built all these boxes that keep us from being true to peace as the Maker created this world for? Because I don't believe this world was created to be divided against the Maker, man. I really just don't. And as a child, I remember sitting back and thinking about it, saying, you know, seeing people argumentative against each other, people bullying each other, a lot of the things I remember seeing. I say, there's something wrong with this pattern of thought. Now, the way I look at it is like this. Maybe everybody may think I'm a little nuts when I say this, but I don't see any manner of rule, partial or corrupted in any way. I don't see any manner of rule, but the rule that the Maker gave this world that can bring back a legitimate sense of peace in this world that was before the fall. You've heard me say before that this world hasn't repented of the fall. And what is the fall? How about all these multitude of national and international political, social, cultural, pseudo-religious differences that exist out here that people have actually conformed to being in bondage under? When I say in bondage, I mean people have created their own structure, after which people sit back and talk about all the greed that is in the world. The society is geared to accommodate the greed. And people don't even realize how they've been enticed to accept conformity under such a system. You know, they tell you to pray, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. My grandfather's favorite song was "The earth belongs to the Lord. Earth is Lord, the fullness thereof, the world and all they that dwell therein." Well, if that's the doggone case, and we say we want the will of the Father or the will of heaven on this earth, I don't see divisions and antipathy against the maker in that. But nevertheless, most have not realized what has really happened. The very rule, pure and perfect, that offers one choice, one peace, one understanding, is the very rule that all the nations of this earth and rulers of this earth have rebelled against. Psalms 2. Why do the nations rage and the peoples imagine vain things? Because they've all taken counsel under the kings of the earth against the Most High and against his anointed. Now, his anointed, the scripture says, or his anointing is supposed to be something that comforts or brings the people to accord under one sense of what is order, what is peace, what is justice, where everybody wants to maintain their own idea of it so they can maintain their imperialist agendas, greedy agendas that actually just enslave people under these territorial and so-called, I'd say, anti-spiritual biases. And people have conformed unto them just to be slaves to people who really don't care about the souls of men to begin with. Why is that such a hard concept? I know it sounds funny, but in a lot of ways, I mean, since I was a kid, I saw something wrong with what keeps people from waking up to the idea that the Creator didn't create this imbalance. Remember, I think I told you a long time ago that, you know, first time I saw real prejudice was around 12 years old. And I had a chance, you know, traveling around my mom a lot of times, I had a chance to see people from all over the world, kids from all over the world. If there was prejudice at any point, a lot of times the parents saw kids having so much dadgum fun that is going to have to think beyond all these various barriers, whether they be, like I say, whatever kind of conformity people call today. I mean, skin color. Are you kidding me? National, like I say, political. All these barriers that people create their biases at. Somebody's going to have to sit back and say, none of these make any dadgum sense if the Creator wants minds redeemed back to Him. And until we think beyond these boxes, we'll be in these boxes. But, you know, all I can do is tell people a whole lot of things that I happen to know about what is the Creator's plan. And the Scripture even calls it a secret plan. And it ain't secreted by the Maker. It's secreted by the rulers, because the prophet said the rulers will never teach it. Now, people need to ask questions. It's called the secret plan of the Most High in so many ways, and in Scriptures even called such. And people need to stop and ask the question. What are the leaders not telling us to keep people in bondage? That's a real serious question. Better trust in the Lord than to trust in princes. Must be something the princes are not telling us. And only by faith, knowing there's a wiser system, do we find it. Because as soon as we try to sit back and say this system that doesn't make any sense or sense of order, we're going to call it wise, we automatically pollute our own conscience too much to understand it. So it's time to break free of this, man. It's trying to break free. I can say a lot more about this and tell folks about some things that are happening right now, within a time constraint that is mentioned in Scripture to occur and are occurring. But are the people in places of power telling us what kind of signs these are? Absolutely not. And they wouldn't. They don't want to see it because what are they protecting? But their own interests. And that's not for the good of us all. It's wake-up time, man. It's wake-up time. Now, if you want to talk about some of the things that are happening right now that are prophesied to happen at this time, that are amazingly enough happening within this time frame, within what you biblically you could say within a couple of years even, I could talk about it. But how many folks are ready to deal with it? Maybe people are too afraid to deal with it, that they've been in bondage this whole time, just not realizing it. You got to ask the Creator what is free, not these people.
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking I was bred to understand that from the time of a child.
Well, I'll say this about your one of your observations, though, Ed. Our government, I think James Madison said it perfectly. Look, men are not angels. Our government, is run by humans. And he said because of that, in his writings, in the Federalist papers, he said, let me give you the exact quote, actually. If men were angels, no government would be necessary. Since we are not angels, the government has to control the people. Now, I don't know about that word control in there. But I do think it has to have some. We all have to have some structure in our lives, right? But the question is, when it comes to, if it's going to be on scriptural doctrine, then which one of the religions do you choose? Which one of the denominations of religion do you choose when you're taking money from people?
Who are still created these religions? Paris, think about this for a minute. Mm-hmm. One of the things, there is a Hebrew word that is actually in Genesis 2 and 7 that relates some principles that most people in these so-called churches never understood. And they're not going to teach it. But one of the principles in it is the principle that simply says, whoever be master among you, let him first be servant. Now, that's a very powerful concept. What it means is that we don't have the right, per se, after ourselves to rule over anyone. We all belong to someone greater for his purpose. Now, as soon as we get to the idea that we feel like we need to rule somebody and allow our personal ambitions to shut off our minds from hearing from the Maker for what is the good of us all, then we're all robbers, and we're all thieves. And we're all murdering one another's conscience. That's a problem. If you look at Psalms 2, it actually says something, the way they translated it really is weak. It says Messiah himself will ask and inquire of the Maker how the nations are to be ruled as an inheritor. Well, it means his first purpose is unto the honor of his Father. We got a problem that people actually think that as a ruler, you're a good ruler if you're robbing everybody. Are you thinking first only about your dadgum self? But who can get selfless enough to deal with that? Because this is a society that thinks in terms of how many people can be persuaded, not how many people can be made really wise.
All right, Ed. I want to thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there right now. It's 18 minutes after the hour, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thank you, Ed. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. 18 minutes after the hour. I gotta get heads up on these days. Yesterday, we had a plant call in. I'm thinking it was a plant because she was like, "Oh yeah, it's great to have Michael back." And let me tell y'all need to get Alindria back. You know, I need to get on. She had her own. You all have your own version of this child's name.
Yeah,
I can call her this child because she's like a granddaughter. She's like a daughter and a granddaughter. She's
but
like,
if it makes you feel any better, if it makes y'all feel any better, when I'm at work, everybody says my name differently.
Yeah, I know.
So even
I can imagine.
Like even yesterday.
This is Alindria.
Hey everybody! I'm sorry. Hey y'all. So just yesterday they were calling me. For some reason, I don't know why they thought I was Hispanic, because they saw just Alindria J. But for whatever reason, they saw it in my name on the schedule and they just thought I was Hispanic, and so they were like, "Who is the Hispanic lady?" I'm like, "So I've been here for I don't know how long. How did y'all?" Not know my name. They thought it was Alejandra. I don't know how they got Alejandra.
They were thinking about Alejandra. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but I don't know how they got Alejandra out of Alindria. So
look, Aley, Eley.
But where's the J or the H?
They don't see all of that. You don't get it. You don't get it. I mean, how do you think Eley comes up with so many back? Eley, Elsie, Eli, I get all of it. I get all of it. So, people are very inventive when it comes to.
So then after I explained my name and told them my name, now they say Alejandria.
Yeah,
I just let it go.
I
let it go.
They are not going to break down the first part of that. Alindria Johnson is here with us.
Hey, guys.
Yes, indeed. And how's the family?
Everyone's good.
Now, just for those of you who have been longtime listeners, you know that Alindria has been our broadcaster, producer here, and then just executive assistant, executive producer, all of those things. And right now you are what? Now
I am at who can I say?
Yeah.
Let me say I'm in entertainment, because I don't even think I can say it
right.
because we can't even post certain things.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm currently in entertainment. Mm-hmm. I could say at the stadium.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. And they are putting your many talents to use there.
Yes, very much so. we just got done with FIFA.
I was going to ask you.
And that was a lot. That was long hours.
To the extent that you can talk about that.
Yes, I can talk about that.
Are you the one who shaped? Well, let's start off at the top. Are you the one who shaped the trophy for?
No, I didn't
President
do that.
Trump. For President Trump, the peace trophy for Donald Trump. Was that your special project?
No, that wasn't my project. So no, so I can't say I work in outside operations at the stadium, so I can say that. I can't specifically say which
that's
company.
Okay. We
but yeah.
we don't have to have a specific.
No.
All I want to know, we don't have to have a specifics. I just want to know all the stuff that you can't tell everybody else. That's what I want to know.
So no, we just got done with FIFA. We're going into Texans season, and I think next is the dog show. I think the dog show. So today I'm off. Okay, I haven't had an off. I haven't had an off day, like a straight back-to-back off day, in probably when did FIFA start? In June. So almost a month.
Just getting ready to
almost a month. Like my off days have been kind of sporadic.
It was just getting ready to start the last time I saw you.
Yeah,
because you came over here to help me, and look, she's back here for me. I tell you, I love it. If that's not love, I don't know what it is.
Of course.
Dedication, family dedication, everybody. We certainly are. So tell me about Ariana. Damn it.
Ariana's
Can we talk
good.
about the children? Are the children all right now? Did they give you clearance to use their names?
Yes.
Now that she's big time in entertainment, you know.
She would actually prefer me to say her name because she likes to see her name in the credits.
Oh, good. Okay.
So Ariana's good. She's going into her senior year at Clark Atlanta. then my youngest son, he is going into his senior year at Westbury High School. So I have 2 seniors coming up. I will be broke. So I will be broke.
And wait, has he made a decision on school?
He has not. He has not. Because right now, most college applications, except for early action, they open up August 1st. He's done a few early actions, but most of them don't. Some of them he doesn't want to do early action on. So we'll start doing those in August 1st. So, yeah. It's and then of course Jacoby,
my guy. Hey Jacoby, I got love for you. You know that. You already know.
Yeah, he decided he did not want to go back to school, so he's just working. But he is trying to see about how he can do auditions for. He wants to play in the UFL. So if anybody know how to get some auditions in the UFL for this kid, somebody let me know. Okay?
We'll have to let Ralph Cooper line him up.
I need to talk to Mr. Ralph. Maybe we can get that audition for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's just decided he wants to work. He's kind of over school. So
yeah.
But yeah,
that's good. And there was I was just getting ready to mention something. What was it? Oh, yeah, no, your cousin, Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, you talking about my nephew, Dylan.
No, your nephew, yeah.
Dylan.
So give us his name.
Dylan Mitchell. He is now going into his junior year at C.E. King. He is, right now, he holds the state record in the 100, 6A 100, 100 race. Lord, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, but he
so he holds the 100, and I think he came in second in the 200. He holds the national record for his age group, and he's done so much.
Yeah, because you were telling me about it before you.
Yeah, and he's trying to qualify for the Olympics right now. So him and Tate Taylor are going back and forth, but they're good friends. So yeah.
Okay, and his name is
Dylan Mitchell.
Mitchell.
He's also a good football player too, y'all.
Okay. Okay, what position?
He plays slot wide receiver. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, caller.
Hey, Paris Alandria.
Hey.
What's happening? We're putting the band back together.
Hey.
Hey, Alandria, you where I'm at. Is your office in the center?
It is in the center.
In the event office?
No, I'm closer to the what is it? The dock.
Close to the dock. I'm gonna come and see you. Because my office. I'm in the event office.
Okay, yeah, come see me. I won't be there till Monday. Okay, so don't.
You ain't gonna be there till Monday.
I ain't gonna be there till Monday. It is my birthday weekend. I will not look at the stadium until Monday.
That's good.
Your office by the dock, and I'm gonna come by and see you.
Yeah, come see me.
Man, that's all right there.
Come see me.
That's all right there. Yeah, I sure will, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
Hey, Paris.
Yeah.
Hey, Paris.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Take your time.
Take
your time. Go ahead. Yeah.
I like to joke with some of the callers that call in. And bring back to Junior yesterday. When he stirred up the pot, and I know Junior went on hiatus from KCOH.
Yeah.
But he came back as Jason Whitlock.
Oh man. That's our guy. Yeah.
He became the guy that said that, all white people good and all black people bad and all the stuff they doing, just like Jason Whitlock. So I'm gonna start calling him. Now we got the KCOH, Rock him with KCOH, which my man Chris, and Junior now is the Jason Whitlock of KCOH.
Well, I'm sure he has a response to that.
But Junior, Junior, it's nothing personal. It's just tongue in cheek, so don't take it personal. I just like to joke with you. But you know what? Just like what Chris was saying, though, Paris, with this Carmelo Anthony trial, and just how white people think about black people, and that showed proof of that past
because from what I thought and from what I saw is that white people don't think black people should be afraid. Black people shouldn't be in fear of their own life. You know what I mean? Because anybody in their right mind, you know, that's black, when you're approached by when you're approached by 4 white people that are bigger than you, you know, and if they put their hands on you, you're gonna try to retaliate some kind of way because number one, you're scared. And if you really look at the true evidence of everything, you know, it shows signs that Carmelo was scared. And nobody's not talking about when Carmelo actually stabbed him, the knife was not fully open, meaning that he was just trying to get whatever he could to get them off of him. You know, but white people make stuff up to put it in their favor, and that whole trial was a nothing but a racial revenge of a black boy killing a white boy. And that's all it was. And you know, Paris, we just go back to what white people really, what they think about black people. Because you remember back in the slavery times when they was practicing medicine and stuff like that, they would practice medicine on slaves, especially, you know, on reproductive stuff with black women, hysterectomies and abortions and all this stuff, what they was doing with black women back then, and they was doing this stuff without anesthesia because they felt like black people wasn't supposed to feel pain. And, you know, if you notice, Paris, if you know, and people used to joke with me when I was at the fire station before Facebook and before, you know, it was online, they used to laugh at the fire station because the fact that when I worked on Fridays, I would always look on the obituary section on Fridays, you know, of the newspaper, because I knew that all the black people was obituaries to be on Friday, because simple fact that, you know, what they always said, black people funerals had to be on Fridays because white people wouldn't let nobody off on a weekday for a funeral because they feel like black people weren't supposed to be sad and supposed to mourn their loved one. Okay. You remember? You notice that? I mean, and you know, all this ties into how white people think about black people as far as we don't supposed to feel. We ain't supposed to feel pain. We ain't not supposed to be scared. We're not supposed to be in fear of our life, especially when it comes down to against them. You know, and this a controversy thing with this black guy that's in Mississippi, right outside of Biloxi. That's something that's just suspect about that. But I'm telling you what, Paris, I won't be surprised if what happened in Florida with that black woman who was backing up. You know, she backed up around the car with a gun in her hand and telling this man to get that she'll shoot. Anybody in their right mind, Paris, when somebody point a gun at him, you're going to say, okay, we're good. You know, okay, you won. But this guy kept on coming. But you know, the whiteness is so bad and it's such sore losers that somebody is going to actually find a way to indict this woman because they can't stand to see something like that happen. And there's histories of white people just being sore losers when it comes down to race, when they lose the race. Why you think that people are still toting that Confederate flag around and still trying to embrace the Confederacy? They lost. They lost. But they such sore losers, they can't accept the loss. You know? And, you know...
Well, that goes on right now. Yeah, that fight continues. Yeah.
Yeah. And Paris, look at how long ago was that O.J. Simpson trial went down?
Oh my goodness, what was that? 92? What was that? 92, 3? I can't even recall.
Almost 30. I mean, it's 30-something years, Paris, and these white people are still mad at that loss.
look at Buffalo. Now the Buffalo Bills filling a new stadium, and they not gonna put none of O.J. Simpson's record-breaking stuff in there. They're not gonna acknowledge O.J. Now, O.J. being accused of murder and being acquitted has nothing to do with him, what he did on the football field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But white America is such sort of losers that, you know, that they still bellyaching because he got acquitted, that they don't want to put him on anything. You know, so we still have to worry about Junior. We still got to worry about, you know what's going on. And then to the reason why we also actually, you know, talk about doom and gloom on this on this radio, what's going on now when it comes down to these white people doing black people. And just like Ed Shannon said on Wild K long time ago, KCOH is a place where black people can ventilate.
Mm-hmm.
So we need this station so we can call and ventilate our frustration on this racism. Because and thank God that you Paris, Michael Harris, and Ralph Cooper let us get on this show and we ventilate. Because if we didn't have nowhere to ventilate, we probably lose our minds. And that we ventilate our frustration, y'all make us feel better.
Well, thank you. That is the purpose, to have an outlet, and an inlet, to have an outlet and an inlet, because we want you guys to be able to speak what's on your mind, and also to be able to get the other information that is out there to keep you abreast of what's going on. That is for true.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yes. And thank God for KCOH and stuff. I was lost when you guys, you know, was lost. You know, y'all was in transition, but I'm thank God you back, because you know what, you know, you guys, y'all get me through the day.
Yeah, there's a lot going on out there, X. There's a lot going on out there today. Have you been clued into the hearings on the preliminary hearing on the Charlie Kirk suspect, Tyler Robinson? You've been keeping.
You know what?
What's that?
I'm not. I am. Am I not? Because I really think Paris, there was an inside job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they scapegoating that boy, just like Trump scapegoating those people who they quote unquote incriminating because of their reflection pool, saying that they vandalized the pool and stuff like that. Same with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was an inside job. That was a professional hit. Man, that was such a professional hit. Man, it was crazy. And rumors have it that it was Israel the one that had him picked out, because he knew some information that was going on about Israel that he was against.
What do you think? What do you think about what makes you think it was an inside hit?
Well, it was rumors that that Charlie Kirk was displeased with the stuff that was going on with Israel. You know, and it didn't have nothing to do with the Palestinians. There's some other stuff, and it was some stuff also that was linked to the Epstein files.
Yeah,
you know,
I heard
because
some of that, yeah.
a lot of stuff is linked to the Epstein files that go beyond the sexual stuff that was going on and stuff that a lot of people don't know, because what Epstein and all this think tank people wants to do is that they actually want to make Israel a all-white nation, and then with that all-white nation, they want to have it to spread, you know, or they want to bring all the white Zionists to come back to Israel and make that the ultimate race and the ultimate religion. Is nothing different than what Hitler wanted to do with the ultimate race when it came down to the Aryan nation and stuff like that. Some of that stuff is what Epstein wanted to do. And Epstein was real big in Trumpism. real big in tribalism. And that's what's going on now with America is tribalism. That's what's separating us. That's, you know, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. And the thing is, what it's causing is tribalism in their own different races of people. Just like what you said about, you know, with ICE and with this guy who got executed by ICE in Houston. Now, over 50% of like you said, of the ICE people are Hispanic.
I think it's 20%, and 20% of ICE and up to 50% at the border, the CBP, Border Patrol.
Yeah. So what you also have what's going on is internal tribalism going on, which that's a plan too. You know, I mean, the internal tribalism is the haves and the have-nots. Whereas you got the Hispanics that got their rights and stuff. Some was born here, some have birthright, and some also have went through the way and got their American citizenship to come here. Versus the ones who don't, and the ones who have that say, "Oh well, no, you're not coming over here." You know, I got mine, and got mine, and we even got that Paris with our own race of people. Look at Clarence Thomas. look at Clarence Thomas. Look at most of those black people who support MAGA, because there's a difference between black Republicans and black people that support MAGA.
Yeah.
You know, because the people black people that support MAGA black people is a whole different type of animal, because the fact is, if they support MAGA, they support racism, but what they want to do, they want to tone it out and say, "Oh, he's not talking to me," or "He's not doing it for me." But you know, they're a family member away, but they don't realize their family members are getting hurt. But it's all about me, Mercedes. Be like us. When we don't want to all ride a bus, he'll go and get a Taurus.
All right, X. I gotta think. Well, look. Wait a minute. What about your Freedom Gas, man? Are you getting Freedom Gas? You up to the Freedom fuel stations? You know about this? The White House has launched 25 Freedom fuel gas stations in an attempt to provide Americans a cheaper option at the pump.
Oh my God! Hey, one thing about that, just like Brother Spivey say that Trump is a rapist and everything like that. You know, I'm telling you what, he's a rapist. He's a rapist ever since the world, because all those people that believe him and follow him and stuff, he has absolutely raped their bank accounts and their pocketbook. You know, he had all those people who claim, you know, got on this Bitcoin thing with his coin, and a lot of people lost thousands of dollars and he made billions, but everybody who invested in the Trump coin got financially raped.
Yeah, that's Liberty World Financial stuff there. Yeah, that they did.
You know,
a lot of people lost money.
And you know, and that's what he's doing. He's morally raping people. He's morally raping his followers, and also he's financially raping his followers, and he's mentally raping his followers. Because the fact is, man, they looking more and more like idiots throughout the day, and they steady getting broker and broker on anything that they try to put their money in that Trump name on it, and they find out it ain't worth a hill of beans.
Well, he may be suffering some at the polls. We don't know. We do know that there's been some change in his independent numbers, and I know on one poll he was down to 29% on his approval rating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's why I understand why black people were so mad at Tallarico when he beat Jasmine. What Tallarico did, number one, Tallarico had a head start on Jasmine, and Jasmine should have never gotten that race because Allred was the original guy who ran. So they talked Jasmine they talked us saying, oh, you can beat this guy, not knowing that Tellerico had already reached out to all those rural areas and campaigned and talked to all those disgruntled white people who are tired of Trump's mess and found out that Trump and Abbott is screwing them, and they tired of being screwed by Trump and everything. He campaigned and got those people to cross over to vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
In Paris, if you looked at that map when Tellerico beat Jasmine Crockett, you could have swear that Tellerico was running as a Republican, because that map looks just like a Republican ran, because all those rural areas was blue on Tellerico's side, because he went and he campaigned for all those disgruntled Trump supporters that are tired of him that want to switch over. That was a hell of a strategy. A hell of a strategy.
Yeah.
Because those are people that are more, those people are more pissed off than us, because of the fact that they voted for this man. They believed in this man's lies. Most of us black people, we knew that Trump wasn't worth the crap and stuff like that. So the stuff that's going on, we said, we try to tell y'all. But it's those white people that are hurt that really believe in this guy.
Well,
and
some
that's
of
the
them
way-
have found a way. There are people who still find a way to rationalize whatever losses they take. I heard one say that the only reason the crypto coins didn't work out was because the Democrats jumped in and shorted the market on it. So people will find a way. Listen, this is the way we behave as human beings. We find something we like, and if we believe in it, then we don't. It takes a lot to move us off of that belief, and so we begin making excuses.
Well, we got to forgive them because they delusional, just like they say. Like they say, us Cowboy fans, we delusional because we think the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl every year, regardless of how bad Jerry Jones is. We still delusional to think the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl. So I kind of feel how some of those folks that's loyal to the Trump supporters are.
All right.
I gotta go now, Perry.
Okay, buddy. All right. Thank you so much, X. Thank you. 15 minutes before the hour. Hello, Alendria. You know, you got Jakai and Jacoby and everybody, Ariana, Trey, Mr. Ken, and your Sharice, your mom. Everybody. Just love to all of you. What a wonderful family you are. I'm lucky to have you in my life. I'm blessed to have you in my life as friends. All right. Hello, caller. You're on.
My man, what's going on?
Yo, come tell me about it. Come brighten my day.
I will brighten your day, P, but it was so good to hear Lindra back on the show.
Wasn't
there,
it?
Man. It was, man.
Yeah, I thought
Goodness
so too.
to the
I
ears,
think so
man.
too. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Paris.
Yes, sir.
It's Lydia. Y'all had a great show last week.
Thank
and
you.
I tend to fold toward her way of thinking about what's really being politicized among our votes, Paris. The Democratic Party, and this is my point of view, and it was evident to me when in the presidential race how they did Miss Harris. I couldn't let that go because when they realized that Joe Biden didn't have a chance, they didn't allow her enough time or the support. See, everybody's missing the point about the Democratic machine, the support that all those big money donors get behind one candidate. It wasn't so much as Tellerico went rural and he outworked Miss Crockett. He didn't outwork her, Paris. She was not their pick. Just like they're doing Platinum right now in Maine.
Right.
I mean, we're so blinded until we can't see in front of us, man. These people don't value our vote, Perry. They figure we got you under control. we're gonna keep this doing what we want to do to you. We'll throw you a bone here and there. But for them to truly say we believe in the struggle for our community, that's a lie. And until we call it out and we're willing to die for what we believe, it's not going to change, brother.
Let me ask you this, though. Now people are calling it out. Where do we go from here? Where does the Democratic Party go from there? They're being called out now. It's no longer a secret. These allegations are out there. You don't care about us. So, what's the next step?
I think our next step. This is my thought. We need to really seriously put in a coalition among our own communities, parents. We're so used to reaching out to other communities, trying to bring them in. If we could just come together, the haves and the have-nots in our community. Parents, just for a small example, how many black athletes do we have? And we'll just say, football, professional football, that's making millions of dollars. Parents, if we really wanted to make a change as a community, what about even the black actors? We have an uncountable number of people that would mean that if we can come together as a coalition, a community of our own people, we can make a change, Barry. We can make a change. We have everything we need. But we don't have the cohesion to come together.
Well,
you see?
Yeah, but how do you get these people when the millionaires that we do have, and incidentally, it's going to take a lot of money if you're talking about forming a party outside of the Democratic and Republican parties, or an independent. Another party becomes a matter of what you can afford, who's going to join it, how much money it takes, and several financial steps in order to have a party. Can it become a national party?
Paris, we had a floor plan laid down back in the 60s, the late 50s, the 60s, and going into almost the 70s. That brother MLK Paris, brother Malcolm X, all we had to do was continue to fight relentlessly like they did, Paris. Both of those brothers was willing to give the ultimate sacrifice, which was their life. Until we find another leader with that kind of conviction, we're going to keep running around in circles, Paris. And the bad part about it, the other community that's in charge with the money, with the power, they know this. And they know which one to put in charge. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But
it's just like we had the field and we had the house, and they're gonna always keep that house one in front of us. They're gonna shine him up and polish him, and he's gonna be a good, smooth talker. He may even be a preacher. He may even be. They're gonna get the right one, but they're gonna keep him looking good to us, Paris, and we're gonna believe everything that comes out his mouth. You see what I'm saying? But see, that one that's in the field, we're going to overlook him because he don't really have the means or anything to come. You know the saying, Paris. Okay. I deal with it every day out here in this construction business, man. Yeah, I see it every day. I see it.
Well, hopefully, people, we've got some groups now, not a party. I think in Atlanta there is a party. I do know that there are some independent black political movements out there. I don't think one of them has reached a party status yet. There may be on the horizon, but I'm not aware. I'm not aware
Right.
of one now. But it takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of unity, and not all of your athletes are going to share the same economic interests as well. See, the thing, the civil rights thing is still a truly a real thing, but the problem is there are other layers to it now. There is
Parrot.
yes.
Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get our human rights first. Can we get our human rights first? And then if we get our human rights first, if we can get them to acknowledge that we are human beings, the civil rights, they'll fall in place, Parrot. But until they recognize us as human beings, it's no need for us to fight for civil rights. Recognize me as a man, as a woman, or just recognize us. We got to get human rights first, Parrot. They still treat us like animals, man. Look how they degrade us on the news every day. Every day. Don't a day go by that we're not doing something derogatory on the news and it's highlighted.
Well, see, you just said it right there. You said not a day goes by when we're not doing something derogatory on the news and it's highlighted. So, see, that flips the responsibility right back on us, as it should, because we are responsible for our own behavior. However, it doesn't mean the only thing you can do with the press is, because they're not a government agency, all you can do is stop consuming that press or stop buying it. You know, if you're buying papers, and people don't do that too much anymore. But there's little you can do to stop the press from talking about you or writing those stories, as long as we are committing some of these acts. That's why we've got to attack it from a political standpoint to get a hold of the government levers and get the results that we want. But one of the things that is critical is our own behavior. We've got to be responsible. You say a political party? Sure. First thing we got to do is send out an exploratory group to find what is necessary to form a political party. We've had them before. We've had them in Atlanta. We've had them in Chicago. There are others out there. You know, there are people with that knowledge out there. But forming a political movement is a viable political party is a strong measure. And then. So if you form the black political party, you got to elect candidates to run for office. That's another consideration that we have. And if you're talking on a national basis, that's a heavy lift. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but I don't know of anybody who's exploring that option right now. You know?
My man.
My man. John, you have a great day, my brother. You have a great day. All right. We are the Source. Hello, caller. You're on.
Happy birthday to Lady A. I heard her.
Hey, Lady. Yeah. Go ahead.
Look,
Alendria.
Yeah.
You got me
Lady
saying.
A, right?
Yeah.
You heard me. Look, I heard she refused to go to the Taylor Swift wedding. How can she refuse, Larry? I mean, and she's a Cancer, astrological, right?
Yeah.
Cancer, right?
Yeah.
Lady? And look, last but not least, I hope somebody doesn't give her a piñata birthday, a Donald Trump piñata. I mean, that wouldn't be right. No, seriously, happy birthday. Have a good one. Take care.
All right, buddy. All right. We are the Source. Good morning. Good morning to you. We thank you for being here with us this morning. Michael Lawrence Harris is up next, everybody. And so we want you to stay here and be a part of that conversation. We get the top jock. We get the top jock joining us as we go into the afternoon. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999. Ralph Cooper has covered the legends of HBCUs since 1969. Coaches Eddie Robinson, Jake Gaither, Marino Cassim, John Merritt, Billy Nix, Alex Durley, Clifford Paul, Dr. Rod Page. No broadcaster has covered HBCUs longer than Ralph Cooper, Houston's legendary sportscaster, on 1230 The Source.
Remember when $100 filled a grocery cart? Today, it barely gets you started. If you're retired or planning to retire soon, you may be concerned about how inflation could impact your future income. Inflation doesn't retire when you do. Everyday necessities continues to rise. The question is, will your retirement income keep pace? You may have spent decades building retirement savings, but retirement isn't just about what you've accumulated, it's about what you can spend. Inflation can impact purchasing power and create challenges for retirees living on fixed incomes. At Advanced Wealth and Retirement Planning Concepts, we help individuals evaluate retirement income strategies and explore options that may help support their financial goals. Call today for your complimentary retirement income review.
Retirement doesn't come with a do-over. Whether retirement is around the corner or already here, now is a great time to review your plan. Schedule your complimentary retirement strategy session today by calling 832-402-8367. Investment advisory strategies offered through TLG Advisors Inc., an SEC registered investment advisor. No tax or legal advisement is given.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. Well, I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's hear what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Max says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. You better do what you got to do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston, 77074. or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
Are you looking for a pharmacy where you're more than just the next person in line, where the pharmacists are friendly, willing to talk to you about your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, where they make deliveries to customers in the general area? Then you need my pharmacy of choice, Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, right off of I-10 East near the 610 Loop. James Muldrow and his staff are there to serve you. I've been a customer for over 37 years. The insurance companies have tried to steer me to the corporate pharmacies, but I prefer Mercury Drive. It's a staple in East Houston, serving Fidelity, Jacinto City, Pleasantville, Fifth Ward, North Shore, Wood Forest, Galena Park, Channel View, offering free delivery to those areas and others. Most insurances are accepted. Mercury Drive Pharmacy is open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. Phone 713-674-6122, 713-674-6122. Mr. Muldrow and his staff are happy to serve you. Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, south of I-10 East.
And now, a message from the Future Frequency.
Young voters, Gen Z and millennials, our world is moving fast, and the issues hitting your pockets and your peace, they're all on the ballot. Rent, safety, jobs, student debt, and yes, home ownership. Whether you're aiming for your first keys or keeping your roof steady, voting is where those issues get decided. So click off the mute button and let your voice be heard. Tap in, lock in, and make a plan to vote. The future is live right now, and you're the frequency.
This message is powered by the Diversity of Thought and proudly sponsored by 1230 KCOH The Source. They were one of the greatest groups in the world. They were one of the greatest groups in the world.
Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Beautiful.
Songs with messages recorded years ago. That are still relevant today.
Oh, when will there be a harvest for the world?
The Elements. The Brothers.
I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark.
Winners of many awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Winners of many awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. It's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
The reasons that we're here.
And the Isley Brothers.
I wanna be living for the love of you.
It's an all-time great showdown. Coming soon on 1230. 1230. KCOH. The Source.
The original DS. The original DS, towering above it all. Yes, indeed. Mr. Music. He is the original Don Sam, everybody, right here on The Source. And let me say hello to Don in Maryland this morning. And speaking of people married to great people, I got on the line the Hall of Famer, married to the most beautiful, lovely, and talented Yvonne Harris. See, that's why both of them are called Mr. and Mrs. Michael Harris. See how that works? Works out just well. Hello, Michael Lawrence Harris, top jock. What's going on?
Well, first, I'm going to be messy.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Eley. It's 12:08.
Good afternoon. 12:08. 12:08. Listen, when you get through doing this for me, teach me how to tie my shoelaces, will you? I have trouble with that. I can do with all the instruction and help I can get. Telling time is greatly appreciated. I want you to know that, Michael.
Well, the first thing you need to do is get rid of the gut.
Yeah, that would be. That's right. That's right. You're right about that, Michael. Yeah.
Well, when I was sick, the last few weeks, I got rid of a lot of gut, Barry.
Yeah.
You know, at
yeah.
one time I think I got to like 220, and I was down to like 135 or something.
Wow.
I tell you, when the doctor saw me, he didn't say what's wrong. He says, "We're putting you in the hospital." Those are the first things out of his mouth. And I said, "Oh my God, I really must be a mess."
And I got down to 203. I got down to 198. I got down from 226 actually at one time, and that's around 220 down to 198. And now it seems to be headed north again, but we're working to bring. I think I'm around 203 now.
Well, when I look at my best suits and slacks and all that, now that I'm kind of drowning in them, and I'm trying to decide: do I want to get fat again? Or I have to spend money to look good again.
Yeah, I wrestle with that.
So what will I do? I put on padding like Eddie Murphy did in one of those movies to play a fat guy.
Oh, the professor, the Nutty Professor, was that
the Nutty Professor?
Yeah.
So speaking of nutty, I'm still trying to find out why this gentleman was killed here by ICE. What did he do?
Ooh,
maybe I'm missing the impactful parts of newscast, but do you know what he did to deserve to be justifiably killed?
The allegation is that he was trying to evade arrest. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said it took place during a targeted enforcement operation, Michael. And they claimed that he attempted to evade arrest and tried to run over an ICE agent with his car. And that's what prompted the agent to shoot him. His name is Araujo, I think. Araujo?
Okay. Yeah. Now, how does he know he's an ICE agent? How does he know that he's just not being ambushed?
I don't know the details.
Do they identify? Do they have ICE? And anybody can put ice on their clothes. All you have to do is get you some, what do you call those things? Sprinklers and some glue.
Okay.
Or you can make your own patches. I've seen people make their own badges.
Yeah, that happens too now. Yeah.
So I was just wondering about that, because why, if you're chasing somebody in an unmarked car, these are questions because, unfortunately, our tidbit, I am working. I love you, but go sit your behind down somewhere. Okay? You're going to bark at me, huh?
Oh, look, woofing at you. Yeah, okay. Okay, tidbit.
Yeah.
Okay, tidbit. We hear you.
All right, now. You know, you are a female, and they have a name for female dog. And I will, anyway, let us, but I am concerned about how easily ICE kills people. Did he have I haven't, every time I try to watch the news and see it, it's already gone. And do you know any details of it? Because honestly, I don't.
Okay.
All I know is that another person who hasn't committed a crime that is worthy of death, why is it necessary for them to kill somebody who may be an illegal alien, if they want to call them that, a legal human being in this country, when they are simply trying to escape? What is gained by killing them?
They release very few details in the moment of these and other shootings. I'm sure it will come up, but the other groups out there calling for, civil rights groups, are calling for an investigation, which is to say the Mexican civil rights groups
Well, the black ones too should be, because if they'll do
They're
it to
not the only
them,
ones. Yeah.
yeah. Because some of us are Haitian, some of us are from other islands in the Caribbean, some of us are from Africa. Now, if they start, see, I'm one of those dark brothers.
We were talking about that earlier this morning. I asked, I raised the question with Mike, with Texas Mike, this morning about what he thought the penetration of the story might be in the Mexican community, and what did he, what kind of legs did he think it would have? But because I was telling, he said he really wasn't sure, but he did say that most people, he seems to think that most people, that after a while people will go back to what they're doing. I happen to think this is somewhat different. All things do fade in time. Even stories like this, but I don't think this is. I don't think this is that kind of story. I don't think it. I should say some stories fade. Yeah.
I said back in 1969 when I came to Houston, and I was working through the Mayor's Summer Youth Program, driving this car for Avis Truck Rental. That fat pig came up to me and told me that if I didn't move my car, he was going to take me downtown and hang me. And that was 1969. How long ago was that? 70. They'd give it 1 year. Then 30 more to get to 2000. And here it is, 2026. So it's been 50, almost 57 years?
Yeah.
And guess what?
Yeah.
I still remember that SOB threatening to kill me over me making a right turn. And so, and if I'm an Hispanic and I haven't done anything wrong, like I was a black who hadn't done anything wrong, and somebody wants to, what would you call it? It's not characterized, but just say, well, heck, he's Hispanic. Let's go get him. Let's see. Now, you don't know whether, do they have ice on their vehicle?
I don't know whether they have it on their vehicles. They have it on their clothing. I
Okay,
think.
but so,
they got the uniform and they got some identifying. They got some identifying insignias, I think.
You think? But we don't know, do we?
No. I mean, they show these raids and they travel in groups, and a lot of them they look like a military organization, but you don't know, because if it's 4 people and they're all wearing the same thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are
who they are
authorized.
Yeah.
I see.
And so I just wonder what the guy did that got him shot. Did they say he tried to?
They say evading. They say, I think they say they rammed his. They say they rammed his car. Oh no, he tried to ram their car. Is the story that they're telling, and I'm looking for it here. I'm looking for it here now, even as we talk, because I had a version of it earlier this morning, but that was from Houston Public Media's version, and I wanted to see if we can get some more detail about how it happened.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you how I've had police officers threaten me 3 times. The other one told me he was going to take me to jail if I didn't leave this club. And I'm not a clubber anyway. I went there with a friend. He just happened to be married to a white woman. And one of her friends was in town, and I was over there talking to my buddy, and they wanted to go to a club, so I went. But I ended up getting tossed out of the club, like my friend who was married to her, but they were allowed in. And this was a Houston police officer again. And people I know y'all feel like I'm anti-police. I'm not anti-police. I'm anti-racist. I'm anti-bigot. I'm anti-oppressor. I am anti-supremacy, white supremacy, or black supremacy. We're all human beings, and we deserve to be treated equally. And I think we hire far too many people and put them in uniform who are just racist killers.
Yeah.
And then some of them are just flat-out Uncle Toms who will do whatever it takes for them to curry favor with the people who run this. But know, all of you Toms out there, that when they no longer need you, they will hang you in certain ways. If they don't kill you physically, they will kill you economically.
I
They
do.
will, you know.
I do want to pass this on to you. The shooting happened in Magnolia Park area, and they say he was shot after he ignored commands and attempted to ram an officer who fired his weapon in self-defense. The Department of Homeland Security said in its statement, ICE officers were targeting him because he was living in the country without legal permission, and the man's car struck an ICE vehicle, according to the department. So, also, I want you to know we got a caller on Florida this morning. Maybe he has something to add to this as well.
So I want to know how he knew they were ICE.
Well, let's see. Let's see what it says. I guess they were in uniform. Did you want to take a caller now?
Yeah.
And
It
zip
doesn't. Zip it doesn't work.
Hello, caller.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool.
Greetings from Florida, Paris. How you doing today?
Hey, greetings to you, Roy? What's going on? Jump for joy, everybody. Here's Roy, everybody. Yeah. What's happening?
This is Michael Harris. Welcome back to the radio station, man. You were truly missed. This is my first time calling into your show, and it seems like the boys and the band or the boys are back together again. So it's good to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will tell you, I do have a problem with the word "boy."
Well, I'm sorry. The men are back together. That's why I like you, Michael. You're like that cayenne with a good bowl of chili, man. You're what's missing is that good chili. But what was I going to say? Also, too, Michael. And this is a compliment. This is not a bad thing.
And I was
passion.
Okay, but I was just joking. I was just joking. Okay. All right.
No, I know. Over the years of listening to you, I know. But what I'm saying is, this is a compliment. The passion and the rage that you bring to this radio station, I love it. I love it. Don't you change, which I know you're not. But I love the bite you bring. Not saying the other guys don't, but you got that pit bull bite, you know. And once you grab hold, you just don't let go. But one more question: with these ICE vehicles, they don't have cameras in them when they arrest people?
I don't know. I'm gonna, I'm gonna check this.
I'm saying if they're law enforcement, just like police, when they pull someone over, if ICE don't have cameras, they can do whatever the hell they want and say this is what happened. So it's your word against theirs, and if you dead, whose word?
Well, they do have body cameras though.
Well, they can be edited too. So under this administration, I really don't trust. How can I say this? Attitude and performance is governed by leadership, and leadership of ICE ain't that good.
Well, let me ask you this question, both of you. Remember the white man who was shot that they said had a weapon and all that, and all the video showed that he hadn't done anything? Have those ICE agents been dealt with? Have they been charged with any crime, since they obviously were lying about it, because the film showed him doing none of the things they said he did, except try to get them to stop messing with folks?
No, not that I know of.
So
Well, here's
So
something
when
you guys can. Here's something I found. I put this in a conversation for you guys. ICE primarily uses unmarked SUVs, black, white, gray, unmarked sedans, plain white vans, standard transport type, rental minivans, government fleet SUVs with subtle markings. High-frequency models include Chevrolet Suburban, Dodge Caravan. Says lack of markings is normal. The majority of ICE vehicles in 2025 have no visible agency markings, no emergency lights on the roof, tinted windows, civilian license plates, no decals, no ICE, no DHS, and no police-style striping. This is intentional. ICE wants to operate without drawing attention. Well, that's not working out well. If you see 2 to 3 unmarked SUVs convoying together, especially with tinted windows, when treated as a potential ICE operation. So there you go. That's the detective. You see 3 vans in a row. Yeah, that's the tip-off. Vehicle plates offer some of the best clues. Out-of-state plates on vehicles operating in-state, government G plates, not universal, but sometimes they're used, fleet-style plates from vehicle dealerships, missing front license plates, and rental vehicle plates. And that's all, but in regard to agency stuff in there, I'm trying to figure out about what's inside there. These
guns,
yeah.
and more guns.
Yeah. Oh, red flags for impersonators. Unmarked vehicles, masked individuals with no ID, people claiming to be police without showing credentials, no plates or temporary paper plates, agents refusing to identify their agency. If anyone demands entry to a home without a judicial warrant, treated as suspicious. So I guess that doesn't add to our much to our store of knowledge, except some things that will arouse suspicion. And also, as I said, I think on these arrests, though, I think they do have to turn on their body cameras. I'm not certain.
Or do they wear badges at all once they get out of the vehicle to identify who they are?
I've seen some with markings on their uniform or ICE jackets in some instances. I've seen blue ICE jackets.
Ice baby. Ice baby.
Ice
Like
baby.
Mike was saying a few minutes ago, we can all go get those things.
Yes.
We can all pretend to be ICE agents on the weekends if we want to be. But before I get off, so someone else can get on, Michael, it's good to have you back on radio. But Perry, this question is to you because I was listening to your show this morning. I hope I'm not breaking up the way. Texas Mike, is he Hispanic?
Oh yeah.
White?
Yeah.
You sure he's Hispanic?
He is.
Well,
I'm not sure. I guess. Go ahead.
I'm not down the words you say, but are you sure he's Hispanic? Are you sure? Because the way I hear him talk this morning and the question you were asking him about his community, his people, it's like a nonchalant behavior. I'm not passing judgment, just going by what I heard and what I've heard for the past 2 or 3 years. Like, you sure you're Hispanic? But
hey,
just asking.
Okay.
Hey, did you see Django Unchained?
Yes, sir. You trying to say Texas Mike is Samuel L. Jackson? I said it for you, Mike.
Thank you.
Look! Before you go, agents wear black. Agents wear black or camouflage bulletproof vests. These vests usually say police, federal agent, or federal officer. And then look for smaller acronym patches indicating specific ICE units. ERO, that's Enforcement and Removal Operations, and HSI, Homeland Security, handles transnational crimes and investigations. And then vehicles, agents usually drive unmarked civilian car. Yeah, the same thing we just heard earlier.
Okay. All right,
And you did
I
say
do have
small,
one question
Paris,
about it.
Yeah.
Paris.
Yes, sir.
Since you are and always have been a great investigator, so what was this man's crime other than supposedly being here illegally? They were supposed to be stopping him to find out if he was here illegally, but how does he know who they are?
Yeah.
And and
well, they say he tried to ram his car, so I think if that's true, he might have had some idea. He might have had some idea that might not work in his favor.
No, but think about it, Paris. Now, if you were driving your car and all of a sudden some people surrounded you,
that's
would
true.
immediately think it's the police?
Yeah.
Or would you think it's somebody who's trying to jack you or kill you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
They need to have the.
But he had been down there with, now, as I read that story this morning, Roy, Michael, they did reveal in the story that he had been back and forth to the courthouse trying to get, which is why this is so puzzling to me. He had already been, he was in the process of trying to get his papers. So his name would have come up. So I imagine that's how he knew they were agents. And that's why he was comfortable in thinking they were agents, right? Or uncomfortable in thinking they were agents. But they say he'd been here for 30 years. And he says his children tried to convince him to get the light. He has started the process, I'm told. Yeah.
Well, he tell him he can't turn white, even though he might want to.
You beat me to the punch, Mike, because I was going to say, if you want to enter this country, you better bleach your skin first. Because you dark, you don't need to apply.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, you guys have a good day, and it's a pleasure talking to you guys.
Roy Brown in Florida, holding it down, no doubt. My guyski, as we say in Poland. All right,
you
bro.
have a good day, my friend. Yes, sir.
No doubt, sir. No doubt. Michael, you got another caller, unless you wanted to jump in right there.
Man. This is one of the times that I'm glad to be black. At least they can't confuse me for an Hispanic. Well, there are black Hispanics
Afro-Cuban, Brazilian. Okay, yeah. No, you got a lot of options over there now.
Okay, sorry about that.
Wait a minute. Because some black people, even the countries we're talking about, they still get singled out over there too. These countries have their own discrimination going. One of the surprises of my life was to find out there were when I was in Vietnam that there were people called the Monyards, and they were treated very much like the outcasts. I guess these countries managed to work it out somehow so that somebody is going to always be getting the ditty end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So you got a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, Brother Perry. Brother Michael, you make a good, valid point, Michael. Because how was the gentleman supposed to know if they was an ICE officer, any type of law enforcement officer? They was in unmarked vehicles, tinted windows, and you got people these days, Michael, they dress up like law enforcement to rob you, home invasions and everything. And this particular gentleman, according to the news story I saw and read, he had been over here for 35 years. And he also had been working, put into the system. He was just on his way to pick his crew up because he was in the business of construction. And according to the news articles, also, as Paris stated earlier, his daughter said he was in the process of, getting the proper documentation that he would need for work permits and so on and so forth. So if you're an immigrant on foreign and you see unmarked cars, what that man was supposed to do? No sirens, these cars are unmarked. It's kind of like the situation that happened with the youngster that shot the police officer, the Hispanic guy. I didn't know he was a cop. He was in his regular vehicle. He wasn't in uniform. And the shootout took place, And I think the guy was found not guilty, but they got him on something else. So the question becomes again, if Paris, you walk out that building right now and some cars surround you, you're not going to think the law enforcement, they unmarked. You know, and Michael, by the way, he's proud to be black. Remember now, Michael, you can pass for Haitian or Dominican something and get yourself somebody else.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks, Chris. I appreciate the warning.
All right.
Cause you know they listening now. You know, and parents pass for Jamaican, Dominican. You know, Haitian too. So you make me careful. Parents been here for 40 years and they find contact with it.
Yeah. You got a point. You got a good point, really.
And the thing about it, I said, get out of the way, and they don't care about your age. They don't care about you being young or elderly. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're going to grab you up anyway.
Yeah.
And Michael, they know you're impaired. Y'all probably can't run as fast as y'all used to. You can still run.
As fast? You don't even need to put as fast in there.
You just can't run.
Yeah,
but
can't run, can't hide.
Yeah, but you did raise a good question, Michael. And the question is, again, how was this gentleman, any person supposed to know if you law enforcement, if you're the unmarked vehicle, you know, and I can't see your uniform until you step outside the vehicle.
Yeah.
And they say, if you're trying to ram out, then how am I trying to ram you if I didn't know who you were? It wasn't like you was outside the vehicle with your uniform on. I'm stop. I need to talk to you. Think about it. That man probably thought, hey, who's this trying to jack? And you heard the stories in the news every day where they do the juggling, where they follow people from the banks and so on and so forth. That man was really afraid. I didn't know you was an unmarked vehicle. Yeah. You know, and y'all see how your story go with the home invasion. People come in, pretend to be law enforcement. You know, so I think that that man lost his life for no reason behind a bunch of racist, egotistical idiots. I really do. And my opinion, again, one black man's opinion. No, but anyway, Michael, be careful what you wish for now, because it hurt you black. And, you know, we come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Okay, he's a black Dominican. They could even say he's a black Mexican. Get you up out of here. You just never know.
As the old people used to say, Chris, down south, we come in everything from snow to crow. Talk with you later, buddy. Talk with you later. Michael, you got another caller.
No, I never heard that one.
Yeah, man. Down in South Carolina, I used to hear that. You know, we come for everything from snow to crow.
Snow to crow. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, caller. You're on with the Top Jock. I'm sitting on the side. I'm watching the tennis match. You and
right.
You and my guy.
I heard him too, Mike. I heard him as well. Listen, Top Jock, you know, I know back when you were on the circuit, is that the way they introduced you when you were giving speeches? Michael Harris, a.k.a. Top Jock?
They were supposed to. It happened on a couple of occasions. And after that, somehow it seems like most of the plans they had got washed away.
Washed away, yeah.
I don't know whether the people said, well, that Negro causes too much controversy. We might not need him. I don't know what happened. Really, I don't. I had a great relationship with Hugh Powers, who was one of the integral persons at the Chronicle, and Hugh and I remained friends until he died. But out of respect for him, I never asked him what happened to the Top Jock.
Even Mike, when you would go into organizations, you know, like did you ever pick up like an Urban League Award or NAACP award here locally? Yeah, I'm sure they introduced you as the Top Jock.
You know, how can I say this? I try to be a nice guy, but I'm not the nicest person in the world. And sometimes I have to say things about people or about organizations in discussions. Not that it's personal, but sometimes people take those things personally, and because your lips are not attached to their buttocks, you can find yourself on the outside looking in on a lot of things. But if that is the kind of person who you are, then I don't want to be around you anyway. So it doesn't matter to me whether you invite me somewhere or not, because I know that my heart has good intentions, and I don't ever do anything to try to hurt anybody. My goal is to stir conversation, to have us talking about things and encourage one another. When I see our Democrat politicians spending all their money in white media, it doesn't make me love them anymore. It makes me wonder about them. You know, if you want our vote, don't you know that we also need your money, the same, that you value us as much as you value the TV stations? Of course, we have no black TV stations. And so you know that the management, the policies, you know, all of that are more than likely being done by others who hire a few of us, of course, in order to keep their things going. But do they really champion our goals? The anchors and the people who work there may want to, but sometimes they're not allowed to because they want to keep their base. They want to keep those conservative advertisers. And yes, they buy enough to have influence on what is said and done.
Right? Yeah,
they do.
So let me ask you this question, though, Mike. When it comes to the criminal justice system, because I know you bring that incident up continuously about being threatened with being hung by a police officer.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question, and I'll give you my opinion after you answer. Do you believe, or have you ever considered vigilante justice?
No. I'm not a killer. I'm a lover.
Well, it doesn't always have to end that way.
Well, but you asked me, did I consider vigilante justice? No. I'm
just saying that it doesn't have to end in a death, though.
Well, any kind of maybe we define vigilantes in different ways. Even if it doesn't end with a death, if I were to hit somebody in the head or break somebody's leg, that then makes me no better than the person who I despise, the person who I think is evil. So I don't believe in doing evil for evil. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will talk about things and have discussions about things and hope that the conversations will change the mindset of those people who are stuck on stupid, who are stuck on race, and who are just evil. But that's between them and God. I would never do harm other than to defend myself.
I advocate, that there is a place for that vigilante justice. But let me ask you a question. I know you were outside the...
May I ask you a question before you ask me this question? What good is it to gain the world and lose your soul? If you let these people turn you into them, you're no better than they are.
Yeah, well, I may not be anyway. And I had this kind of, that's my answer. I'm not the judge of that.
No, wait a minute. What you're telling me is that if you let them force you into becoming a hate-filled murderer, a hate-filled racist, you wouldn't feel bad about that?
No, depending on the situation, and, we can use yours as an example. The idea that the cop threatened you, there was a mental impact, it appears, right, from your conversation, right?
Well, it's not just my conversation. It's many of us. Rosewood and Black Wall Street, whatever you want to talk about.
Right, but it would be personal, though. Right? It would be personal. It would be personal. It would be personal. That's what I'm saying. I advocate in some instance vigilante justice in personal situations. The situation would have to be personal.
I'm not a killer. I will defend myself. But to go out and do what these people have done to people just because of
these people, Mike, not these people, a particular person or persons that I had a personal grievance with.
Well, you didn't ask me that. No, I wouldn't attack anybody who I have a grievance with. I never really like to spank children. I am basically a nonviolent person. The only time I would shoot somebody or stab somebody is if they're trying to shoot or stab me. And I'm trying to protect myself.
Okay. Yeah, that's your limit line.
No, but you mentioned vigilante.
Yeah.
I'm not a vigilante. I don't go and hunt people.
Yeah, right. I got you on that. I mean, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I was just asking.
No, I know, but I'm just trying. But I'm just trying to clarify with you. Yeah. I believe in self-defense, but I do not believe in attacking somebody for something that they have done and taking the law into my own hands.
Okay. Yeah. So you were outside the loop, but a conversation has resurfaced about the trial with Carmelo Anthony.
And I was not. I have not said anything at all.
Yeah, and I'm about to ask you that question. Yeah.
I don't know.
About to ask you a question.
I don't know the
facts. What is your opinion?
I don't know the facts of the case. Don't forget, I have been
over a year. Yeah.
Well,
Harris, you can bring him up.
Hey.
You got jobs for everybody here. You giving me a job? You giving me a job and giving Mike a thing? Give me a break for a minute. Let me do some homework here in the studio, boss.
Yeah, algebra and trigonometry and all of those things have been out there for years. But everybody doesn't know them. Okay?
What was that, Mr. Harris?
Don't forget, I've been off the air for well over a year. And when you've done something so long, in order to maintain your sanity, you have to just move on. And I had moved on. And I was given the opportunity to come back, thought about it. It may as well. But I wasn't sitting back wishing and hoping that I was back on the air again. Hell, I had 40 years of it already. And I'm grateful for it.
It was a current event, but it's been out there for a minute.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Coffee. Mike, like myself, my opinion is I want a new trial. But again, it's hard to bring people up to date right now because it's so fractured. There's so many. There's so many other impressions that people have. There's a video that's showing that he's not attacked. There's a video that's showing that he is. They kicked the people off the jury. Yes, that was a fact. However, the people were kicked off because there's a lot of things wrong with this trial, I think, man.
It sounds like the criminal justice system to me, but go ahead.
Yeah, but if you're going to report on it as a standard, no matter that it's the criminal justice system, that's all you can say. You can say they've come to a conclusion. I disagree with the conclusion, but I don't know where it goes from here.
That was my question to Harris. I hadn't heard his opinion on it.
I thought I heard his answer, but you go ahead.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, and I hope my daughter is not offended by it. The other day, I had to take her to she has one of my older cars. She has her own car, too, but she wanted it for safety and backup. and I had to take it to the Volkswagen dealership to have the airbag replaced. And my wife and I were waiting for her to come and drive out because we were going to the hospital to visit her brother. And she drove right by us where we were parked waiting for her and went a block and turned and left. And I asked my wife, I told her, there she goes. And she didn't stop. Well, she said she didn't see us. And she was mad at me because I didn't wait for her. And I told her, yes, I did. We were right there. And she called me a liar. I looked for you and you weren't there. I said, I didn't know how you didn't see me. I can tell you what you did. You pulled up to that stop sign, you made a right, you went one block, and you made another right and drove by, and I pointed out to your mom, there she goes. Why didn't she stop? But I didn't call you. Didn't said, well, maybe you had somewhere else to go. So we went on to the hospital, and she came there later. She was mad at me. Said I didn't wait for her. What if if she had needed me? And I said, well, I was there. You could have called me. You didn't call. And when you didn't call, when you didn't see me, that's what you said. I said, well, maybe you're mad at me and didn't want to be bothered. So we just went on. And she told me I was a liar. I said, well, if I am lying, how do I know where you turned? Didn't you turn right at that stop sign? We were sitting right there. You went a block, turned right again, and headed back toward town. Said, if I wasn't there, how would I know that? You know what? She still not admitted that I was there.
Yeah.
What's in your heart, what's in your heart quite often defines what you see. And I guess at that time she was mad at me and wanted something to be mad about. But I let it go. She was here this morning. I don't like being called a liar, especially by my children.
Yeah, I hear you.
But we have to forgive. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk about it, just like I'm talking about it now. But we cannot let that dominate our lives and turn us into the despicable human beings that some of these people are. I'm not going to kill you unless I'm defending my life from you.
I got
I'm not going to hit you unless we're in a fight and you're trying to hurt me.
Right.
That's all right. I just want you to understand that I'm not burning bridges. I'm not taking out. I did the one personal thing was when the guy told me he would hang me wearing that uniform. He had no more business in a uniform than a pig, and that's what he was.
Yeah, I remember a pig. That was in '60s. But listen, can you get our friend on and get him away from teaching the class? Mr. Dean Douglas, your old friend, see if he'll get out of the rocking chair and come visit with you one day.
Well, Dr. Douglas has had some surgery, but I will call him and see if he'll talk to him. What do you want him to talk about?
Oh, we'll find something.
You dragged me all the way over here for that. That's a hell of a statement. Yeah, come on over for dinner. What are we having? We'll find something in the refrigerator. So.
Yeah, man, we'll find something, man. If not, I know you got some other guys that you could probably get over as well.
Oh,
I forgot the guy.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy at TSU that was your conservative friend.
Bobby Mills.
Yeah, what about that guy?
Oh, we've talked to Bobby. I talk to him all the time.
Yeah, so you go.
Well,
either one of those guys is good interview. Yeah.
Well, Bobby has, grown a lot, and he has seen what his some of his conservative friends are all about. And he's not afraid to admit that some of these people who he thought were good individuals were just simply connivers, schemers, deceivers.
Yeah.
Maybe even liars.
Yeah, I know some people like that.
Yeah, I know plenty of them.
All right, I'll let somebody else get in, man.
Okay.
All right. You got a couple of callers on, Michael. Hello, caller. You're on with Michael Lawrence. Top job.
Michael Harris. I just called. You've been back for a while, Mike, so I just called to say 3 words to you. Michael. Make you feel at home because I know you missed that.
Michael.
Michael. I don't know, man. Anyway, did we bill you as a top jock when we gave you that massive award that, you keep throwing out at people from the University of Houston Black alumni? I don't remember.
No, was I the top jock then?
Oh, absolutely. You've always been the top jock. Yeah, that was done. That was done deal by then. Yeah. Because that was I want to say maybe 96, 97.
Well, you do realize that I'm almost as old as you are.
All these excuses. I remember to go to work every day, so I think I'm good at that. But I remember to work at KCOH.
Okay, now what? The top jock is a label. I was among several people who were honored by, you all, and I am forever grateful.
Yeah.
I still have my picture of you and Yolanda, and I'm trying to remember who the other person was up there with you all.
What's his name that ran the funeral homes, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think of his name right now.
Mabry?
No, the nationwide. He had nationwide funeral homes. I can't remember his name. I have to, I'm almost as old as you are. I've heard that before. Anyway. Anyway, Mike, you should know when it comes to females, you can admit they're right, or you can just say they're right. Either way, they're gonna be right. So just let it go like you did, and move on, brother. You're not gonna win that battle. You're not. We know this. You're not gonna win that battle, and I'll take that to any female that wants to call in and argue with me on that. We can. I'll just accept that I'm wrong and move on. But I just want to say how's it going.
But she never answered my question. How did I know how you left there if I had left you? Why would I leave you? I'm the one who took you there. You were driving my car.
And
you are my
can
child.
argue about this to your last day. It's not going to change nothing. That's my whole point.
You think?
And I know you love her, and I know you're going to forgive her for calling you wrong. But you would not have been able to see all that had you not been sitting there waiting on her. Now, I know that. You know that. Harris heard the story. He knows that. But it's not going to change. It's not going to change. But you're all right, Michael. I just wanted to call in and say afternoon. How you doing?
And I can tell you this: if another man is telling you not to argue with your wife and daughter, I'm certainly not going to tell you. So I hear nothing. So
happy wife, happy life. Same thing goes with the daughter.
I'm going to agree with her, whomever. Yeah. All right, man. Mike, you got another call. You got 2 callers.
Okay. All right.
Hello, caller.
You're
up.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, it's me. Okay, great. We've had a couple of conversations recently, and I think it's something to think about. You ever stop to consider that most people want to believe that all they could ever hear from, the best we could ever do is hear from men, is just an excuse for staying confused. Think about it, confused, things turned upside down. Now, we have a strange society that says things like not under the law but under grace. Most people don't understand something. Most guys told me, this is decades ago. He said, the greatest gift I can give is a law by which we might cooperate, love, and trust. They don't tell you that the word for gift and grace are the same word. So what it really means is the grace of the Most High is his law that transcends man's misadministrations and misrule. And when we can catch on to that, we might have a chance to be free. But as long as we believe that we're supposed to be conforming to man's misadministrations, twisting the law of the Creator however they will, and we believe that that's viable, we can't be free. Trippy thing to think about. But like I said, This is what the world has done. They've run a game on everybody else. We're going to be mad at the Most High for giving us a law by which we might see beyond our divisions, our warfare, our contentions, our confusion. And if that's what people call religiosity, it is a serious problem.
Question. Being the biblical scholar that you are, why do you think God lets these white supremacists get away with the stuff that they do?
It's kind of rough, Mike, but the truth of the matter is this. You really want the answer. Where, it's no question about it, black people were the first on earth. No question. But we're also the first to not only hear from the Maker, but also to turn away. Now, in Deuteronomy, 32nd chapter, really we need from the 28th to the 32nd chapter, the people who first heard from the Most High in terms of a record, let's just say effort toward restoration, were already told that if they do not act like they want to maintain a cohesiveness, oneness with the Maker, and become divided against him after their own ideals, the Most High said, if you want to be like the rest of the nations and all their varying ideals, reprobate, lawless, malconformed, he said, I'm going to set you out there amongst them. But there's also prophecies that relate just as much as that's case, that there's going to be some folks who are going to wake up and realize that what they've been in bondage to have to, let's just say, folks' ideals who, hey, don't intend to be conforming to anything except for their own ideals and wishes. They're going to wake up and realize we need to wake up beyond all these things. And he said he'd wake up somebody to tell the folks this. But how many folks know Isaiah 49 to understand what the prophecies actually said in terms of recognizing who the Most High said he would do that through? I will tell you a secret that most people don't know. But it will be found that when Messiah is revealed, that he has encoded in his birth name some 40-plus biblical titles already foreordained. But how many people know that? How many people know that the scriptures actually tell you the name of a city from which he shall emerge and tell you geographically where it is? How many folks know that the prophets actually says he's going to foretell his foreparents' name for 2 solid generations? Third generation is the baby. How many people know that? I mean, there's a lot of things going on. There's even a prophecy. The only prophecy Messiah related in terms of where he shall appear, amazingly enough, is a prophecy said wherever the carcass is, there will the vultures gather. Go look up and ask the question whether most vultures are being multiplied in the entirety of North America. First you'll see Texas, and then ask where in Texas. You'll find, amazingly enough, it's here. And one of the prophecies, in fact, about 16 times in prophecies, they say a city called Harris, and you might well translate another prophecy, Housetown. Say it'd be a port city. But how many people know these things? How many
Is
people
that Harris? Oh, wait. You know, you're on my side, so I can cut in. Let me ask you something. Are you saying Houston, Harris County is what you're talking about?
There are prophecies relate that bisection, even I take it one step further.
Well, I mean, where is this? Where can I find it, though? Where can I find it, Ed? I want to.
I'll tell you what.
Where can I find it?
Look up on the web, or look up this website, hiddengospel.com /secret-city.
Hiddengospel.com, what?
/secret-city.
Okay.
And I will be adding things to that website that, let's just say I haven't added to it yet, but I think it's time.
You and Michael, since you're all on my side of the clock, am I right, Michael? I want to make sure you, Michael, am I precise?
Yes, Mr. Cooper. How you doing there, big fella?
Michael, I think we ought to start passing the basket over here. I think we need to pass the basket. Michael, I think we need to pass the basket.
Ralph,
Even the things we see right now is prophesied in terms of timing.
Yeah, but I think we need to pass the basket. The basket. I mean, do you all have any? The two of you, do you have any? Is anything wrong with passing the basket?
That's not what I'm trying to say.
A lot of religious people don't want any money, but they take it.
Yeah, well, hey man,
they don't turn it. Reverend Ike used to pick his mail up. Am I right, Michael? Yeah. Reverend Ike went to the post office and picked his mail up. He didn't let anybody pick it up. Wonder why did he do that?
I know my time is up.
I'm going to do what I have to do, whether I get something from others or not, because the maker is the one who says, "Hey, go do it."
I think the maker would want you to have some money.
Yeah, well,
gee, I never read anywhere where Jesus, maybe, did Jesus at any point say, "Don't take the money"?
I'll put it like this.
Wait a minute, I'm asking, did you read, is it anywhere where Jesus said, "Don't take the money"? Is it anywhere out there where Jesus said, "Don't take the money"?
Hey, man, at the end of the day, if I think it was just about money,
I didn't say that. I'm not asking that, Ed. I'm not asking that, Ed. I mean, you're going all around left field on me, and we're in center field. Is there anywhere Jesus said not to take the money?
All right, I have a question that I'd like to ask before I go.
Yes.
And this is a serious thing for me.
I'm serious too.
Okay, and I know you are. Have you watched Beyond the Gate?
I've watched a little bit of it. They got some very attractive women in it.
Right.
That's what I got. Now, that's about money, right?
Well, the thing that got me asking this question is the other day, the Hispanic guy, I guess he looks, asked his black girlfriend, who was part of the rich family, to marry him.
Right.
And she said she wasn't basically ready to marry.
Right.
But he could move in with her. She owns her own condominium.
Right.
And that kind of shook me.
What?
Because
what shook you about it?
Ralph.
Yes. Sir.
Our women of all their lives pretty much been sexual tools used by many, and I will admit I've not always been a good boy.
Well, you were.
But
they abused you.
Okay, well, that's what turned me into a bad boy. But I am redeemed. I've been washed in the blood. But the thing that got me was, here was a man asking a woman to marry him.
Yes.
And she suggested that they simply live together. Now, I'm just wondering, is that further stereotyping the black female? When a man asks you to marry and she says, "Well, I don't want to get married, but we can live together. You can come and live with me over here. And then if things work out, maybe we'll get married." So I guess, are our women becoming men?
Michael, the world has always been strange. I ventured over to Atlanta one weekend, and I was staying in a hotel, and my friend there said, "Hey."
And not a hotel. He was in a hotel. Okay.
Yeah, hotel. Hey, if you listen to what Ed just said, it all makes sense. Think about it. It all makes sense. But anyway, Michael. So
I'll wait until I'm 80 years old to get the toughest producer job there could be.
Well, it's good for you to keep you living. You'll live to be 100 with this stuff. But anyway, make this real short. So I'm living in a hotel, and my friend comes over to see me, the person I came to see there. So they say, "Hey, my mama," and I'm paraphrasing, but she said mama, not mother. She said, "My mama said for you to pack your stuff up and come on over to the house and stay with me." And she had twin brothers. She said, "There's a place in the basement that in Atlanta they had houses with the basement. She said that there's a place in the basement that my mother said you can stay there and save this money that you're spending here. So I say, well, but your mother got to know what's going on, right? She said, yeah. So anyway, we get over there. I go, and the mama says, look, both of you are adults. You're in the early 20s or whatever. She said, both of you are adults, and I don't look for my daughter to be venturing down here in the middle of the night. And I definitely don't look forward to you or expect you to be venturing up top in the house tonight. But can you believe, but what I'm saying is that's the kind of stuff has been going on where women have been dominant like that. Now, this came from the mama. Think about that now. The mama telling her daughter that her boyfriend or her male friend can save the money he's spending in that hotel and come stay here. But not to expect to do what he's doing. He's going to do it. Ed still there with you?
Yep, I'm here.
I thought he had a comment, Michael. But that's a true story. So, hey, I mean, it's the way things are, Michael.
Okay. Yeah, well, the misadministrations of man have always been a problem.
Well, the thing is, though, I'd rather think about Magic Johnson. And you got a big 6'8" or 6'9" PJ, or his son, who prefers to be a female. It's no secret. Google it up. It's a true story. Yeah. But Magic, I read this thing where Magic said, "Hey, he's my son. That's PJ. I can't deny him to come over for Thanksgiving or something." Paraphrasing it like that, he still comes over for Thanksgiving, and he's gonna be PJ. So hey, so it's a different kind of world we live in now. And Ed,
I think we're blaming a lot of this, not realizing what atrazine does, and especially on the West Coast. And we're trying to sit back and say, "Okay, we use all these hormone disruptors." This stuff has been going. This has been going on.
This just didn't start. Go back and read some of the stuff about the Roman Empire, and it's in the Bible. Some of this stuff.
We know, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, it just didn't start, Ed. It didn't just start, Ed. It's been going on. Yeah, bingo. But you and Michael, I go back again. It's my problem. I'm gonna get out. Y'all don't want to talk about Solomon. Every time I mention Solomon, y'all want me to get off the phone. No, Ed, I can tell it in your voice. Solomon, how many wives did he have?
I knew you were going to get into that. That's obvious. But what did I tell you?
How many? Some people don't know, Ed. How many wives did Solomon have?
Hey, wives and concubines combined?
Two wives?
No, it's 200. But anyway, get back. The point is what they said that Solomon was a great king is because he was able to counsel between not only his nation and oftentimes many others unto a semblance of peace. Yeah, well. But, we understand some of the reasons why he did that, too, because sometimes, let's put it like this, Israel didn't have to fight any wars, but I'll say my daughter's over there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to leave y'all. I'll expect the two of you tomorrow. You're going to be, y'all never on time. You're never on time. If you're going to the White House, the man being locked out, like the two of you got locked out.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cooper. And I would not want to be Solomon. One is more than enough. Ain't that right, Pumpkin? Pumpkin just shook her head. I guess he's saying, I ain't getting in your mess, Michael. But anyway, it is time to go. Hey, Polo. Hey, Tidbit. How y'all doing? Those are our granddogs. Don't have any grandchildren. At the rate we're going, won't have any. But then, who knows? Miracles do happen, right? Rough.
They do. All right, Michael Lawrence. It's great, man. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here with the magazine. We'll have diversity of thought tomorrow. And then at noon tomorrow, we will have Michael Lawrence Harris. So it's going to be a great day. I'll be right here with you. So everybody have a great afternoon. Michael, you want to wrap it up? You got anything you want to?
I will
Say-
be here, God willing.
Before we
You know,
skedaddle,
yeah.
as you say here in
Yeah.
Texas, before you skedaddle, you'll be right here.
Yeah.
All right. Love to Yvonne, as always. All right.
Remember what Bobby O.J. used to say? Gotta quit, gotta split, gotta make way for another mellow DJ.
All right,
So we'll
then.
see you all.
All right,
All
buddy.
right.
Ralph Cooper has covered the legends of HBCUs since 1969. Coaches Eddie Robinson, Jake Gaither, Marino Cassim, John Merritt, Billy Nix, Alex Gourley, Clifford Paul, Dr. Rod Page. No broadcaster has covered HBCUs longer than Ralph Cooper, Houston's legendary sportscaster, on 1230 The Source.
Remember when $100 filled a grocery cart? Today, it barely gets you started. If you're retired or planning to retire soon, you may be concerned about how inflation could impact your future income. Inflation doesn't retire when you do. Everyday necessities continues to rise.